We're finally doing it! We're believing! Yes. True. True. Yes. Maggie game. Appreciate the Maggie now. Yeah. Honestly, Steve might want to join in. And you know what? I'm going to chill. The Stram, Mr. Goose. But of course. Hello, V. Welcome.
There's mine. Is the Discord side for Sierra coming in?
Yes, I can hear on Discord and
Well, I mean, like for the YouTube stream, can Discord come in?
test, test, one, two. Yes.
Yeah, it seems to be, working. All right, cool. Yeah, welcome in. We've been waiting a very long time for this. None of this matters. At least that's what I wish I could believe. I want to believe this is nothing more than a setback, a bump in the road, a trial from Raptor Jesus above, or whatever God is out there to make me stronger. That's what I've been told. At least through various message boards and grief support websites. Hell, I even tried Icelandic birdhouse crafting forums. Anything to try and make sense of this hell I've found myself in. But all I see is more hollow and empty words that don't dull the pain. Stay with me here, please. Don't leave me alone. The last words I ever said to her. Those words are etched in my mind, echoing through my head like a symphony of torment. Of how I failed her, how I let her die, how I let everyone die, all because I was a shitty boyfriend. I should have died that day. Growing weary of the disingenuous bullshit laced across my screen, my hand moves to turn off my monitor. Across the screen's darkness, I see myself. My face is completely devoid of color from not leaving my shithole apartment for a week. My eyes are bloodshot from being awake for the last 2 days straight, and to my right, a silhouette stares blankly at me through my computer screen's reflection. Fang? I get up and turn around in shock, only to be greeted by the front door and the pile of garbage bags and empty bottles surrounding it. God damn it, not again! Ever since I got out of that hospital, I've been haunted by the apparitions of my past sins. They put the Stegosaur in the snoo game. Constant reminders of my failures. In a moment of stunned silence, I gaze across the room blankly before snapping back to my senses. Well, now that I'm up and about, I should probably find another way to occupy myself. I try maneuvering about my apartment awkwardly, thanks to the brace in my left leg. I was finally able to ditch the crutch a couple weeks ago, though maybe it wasn't such a good idea considering my doctor said my leg didn't heal as quickly as he thought it did. Still, my fucked up leg is the least of my troubles right now. I'll make my way over to the kitchen with a slight limp, almost tripping over the garbage that roamed the floors of my apartments like a herd of sheep. It's not like I'm having guests anytime soon, so why give a shit if it's so messy? Entering the kitchen, I grab a jar of instant coffee and a mug from the counter. It's dollar store brand crap, but it does the job well enough. Join us. I open the jar and pour the contents into a cup before mixing with hot water from the sink and stirring the unholy concoction with my finger. One of the upsides is being too far to a porta kettle is not having to worry about burning yourself with coffee. I begin to sip on the lukewarm beverage, only to be greeted with a taste of reminiscent of dirt, unnaturally sweet chemicals, and a familiar hint of what could be described as coffee. Yeah, it's crap, but it'll have to do. I only get so much money from disability checks after the incident. That money's the only income I get at this point. My grades back at Volcano High weren't high enough to get me into any college. Plus, the Army didn't want a shell-shocked cripple under their banner. That only left me with the glamorous choice of begging the government for scraps, especially since my parents more or less threw me away. My father's words suddenly echo through my head. You got a second chance, and this is what you did with it. What a waste. So much for loving parents. They're the ones who put me in this dumpster of an apartment in the shittiest part of town. On top of that, they had the audacity to barely talk to me throughout the school year. As if their negligent behavior hadn't been bad enough, neither of them visited when their son ended up in a coma after getting shot. I ended up forgotten and abandoned by those around me. A fitting punishment for a loser who treated the few people who cared about him like trash. A just punishment for an asshole whose ignorance of his girlfriend's pain caused a massacre. I deserve all of this. I need to take my mind off this shit. Setting down the coffee mug, I move towards one of the cabinets and grab the pill bottles labeled Adderall. Still, before I can open the bottle and embrace its sweet and comforting energy, I feel a distinct lack of weight from the bottle. My hand slumps on the counter, and I let it roll down the floor and join the collection of trash that occupies it. Raptor, Jesus, help me. I hoped I wouldn't have to go out for at least another few days. I know the pharmacy isn't that far, but there's always the possibility of my leg giving out on me again, someone robbing me, or God knows what else. Slow fade. Despite it all, I still would rather any of those things happen to me than fall asleep. I would drag you in V8 and you know it. I don't want to relive that day once again. I don't want to see them all die again. With my mind made up, I grab my wallet, a pack of cigarettes, and my keys before heading out the door, careful not to trip over any more trash. My keys enter the front door lock, making a mechanical sound with a turn to the left. However, what I saw when I turned around caused me to jump back against my door. I see Naomi staring straight at me, arms folded, shooting a venomous look. The same look she gave me right before prom at Fang's house. She's not real. She's dead. Nothing more than a nightmare. How pathetic. It's bad enough that you messed up things with Fang and got us all killed, but this is what you choose to do with your life. I turn away from her and walk towards the exit. She's all in your head. It's all bullshit. No, what's bullshit is how you managed to fuck up a relationship that was practically handed to you on a silver platter. How are you this much of a loser? I've had enough of this shit. I turn around and raise an accusing finger towards her. What the hell do you know? You're dead. The apparition sneers at my angry response and takes a few steps forward. I know that if you stayed in that trashy little school you crawled out of, maybe Nazer and I would still be alive. Maybe Fang would still be alive too. She's right. Deep down, I know she's right. Still, I can't help but clench my fist at the apparition's callousness as the rage bubbles inside of me. Get out of my head, you stupid peach-colored cunt. Not Naomi chuckles at the statement and reaches into her pocket. I can tell she's gripping something from the outline of her hand through her pants. Struck a nerve, did I? This gives me an idea. She pulls the object from her pocket, revealing it to be a... Oh God, no. Let's make this easier for you. Do you think you'll stop it this time? I can't take this anymore. I turn and continue to march towards the end of the hallway while ignoring not Naomi's taunts. Never forget, you did this. You deserve everything else coming to you. One thing. There's not enough time to read that, but it's Naomi growls before. Instinctively, I turn around, but Naomi's gone. I'm instead greeted by the dull gray of my apartment complex's walls, rather than the brains of my former classmates splattered on the wall like I'd seen that horrible day. It's just me standing in an empty hallway of my apartment's floor. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. It's all... I constantly repeat that like a mantra as I continue to walk and make my way towards the exit. After a good 15 minutes of walking through the twilight-dimmed streets of Skin Row, I finally make it to the pharmacy. The walk was surprisingly less arduous than I thought it would be. I was worried my leg would completely BTFO if I were to walk here as long as I had. As an added bonus, the streets seemed rather tame compared to how they normally was, making me feel less stressed about forgetting my pocket knife at home. I think my better instincts for going when it wasn't completely dark. Pretty sure I'd be the perfect target for a mugging, considering I'm a cripple. Would it even be worth jumping a cripple? I don't know. Maybe. I have an awful lot of notifications on my phone. The pharmacy's name is DVS, though it's a miracle I can even read the sign, considering the sign's all dinged up and some of its lights are burnt out. Lovely. The Mimi cord wants something from me.
No memes.
Memes, Jack. Lovely. Entering the shop, I'm greeted with rows of overstocked shelves. My ears are assaulted by whatever popular exuberant garbage is playing at the store's radio. I instantly make my words towards the counter to talk to the pharmacist on shift, ignoring anyone else or any of the big sales signs dotted around the shop. There's nothing else I need other than Adderall, so I don't really give a shit about anything else. I just need to get my meds and return home ASAP. When I go to the counter, I see the pharmacist casually scrolling through her phone while sitting on a chair with her feet kicked up on the counter. She's a bright yellow Tiarayuden who looks a few years older than me. Wait a sec, this isn't my usual hookup. Where the hell is he? Something. Somebody say something? Of course, I was fucking mumbling. I'm here to pick up a prescription for Adderall. Name? Anon Mouse. And what is the purpose of your prescription? What the fuck? The previous pharmacist didn't ask me that shit. Why are they now suddenly interested? I try to think of a reason to tell the pharmacist. I need it to help with my narcolepsy. It's getting in the way of my studies. Spaghetti spillage averted, or so I thought. The pharmacist shoots me a condescending look at my response. Uh-huh. Is that why it says it's your first visit this month? Or how your narcolepsy isn't listed here? Shit, I didn't expect her to be so perceptive, especially considering that just a minute ago she was in her own world browsing SnootTube or Rexrox or whatever normies waste their time in these days. She's now staring with a furrowed brow, waiting to hear my answer. They said for me to come today. See, what I think is going on is you're making shit up as a way to make sure you get your fix, seeing as how much you've been here before. So tell me, why don't you come back once you get a handle on things, okay? What the hell is her problem? Fucking piss-stained meteor dodger? The raptor's face turns bright red, her expression now bordering on rage. Of course I mumbled that. So is there anything else I can help with? Or are you just gonna continue wasting my time? Not so nice at being on the receiving end of that, huh? Well, I'm not in any real position to pick fights right now. Fuck it, this place is a lost cause. I'll find another place to get my meds. I turn around and walk towards the exit while flashing her the bird on my way out. My thoughts are interrupted as an unknown force rams into me on the right, knocking me against the glass door. Fuck it, having an arm injury could be fun too. Oh, so sorry, I'm so sorry. A frantic yet gentle, feminine voice calls out to me from the void. Why does that voice sound so familiar? I pick myself up using the door as a support while posting most of my weight on my non-crippled leg. As I do, I turn to investigate my mysterious attacker. Anon? Wait. Stella? I would recognize that Stegosaurus anywhere. Lime green scales, verdant hair buns, wearing what appears to be an FMA-styled t-shirt, and a rather plain pair of shorts with black and white sneakers. Glad to see she's gotten a better taste in anime at least. It's the first time I've seen her since high school. She might have been a little odd, but she was one of the few people at Volcano High who was genuinely friendly to me in her own unique way. And I called her weird. Why was I such a dick to her? Although when I look at her now, I don't see the socially awkward yet bubbly Steg I remember. Instead, I see a girl who looks as if she's just seen a ghost, a reminder of a painful past. Within a matter of seconds, her green face turns pale as she backs away from me slowly, her body shaking with fear. Hi. Before I can get a word in of my own in, she quickly turns around and practically dashes down the street as fast as her legs can carry her. Why do I have this effect on women? More importantly, why did she become that scared when she saw me for the first time in months? We only talked a handful of times. It wasn't like I knew her well enough to make that big of an impression on her. Still, Stella was one of the closest things I could consider to being an old friend at this point, and I would have hoped our reunion would be less depressing. Not that I'm surprised. My inner monologue is cut short by the obnoxious laughter emerging from the back of the pharmacy. I turn to see that cunt of a pharmacist pointing and laughing at me. I've really been standing here that long? Well, I'm done here anyway. Good fucking riddance. I let go of the door and continue the long and perilous journey back to my apartment. My apartment, where I can relax without any Adderall and risk falling asleep again. Fuck my life. On my way home, I found myself alone with my thoughts while passing all the rough buildings and graffiti printed signs that previously made myself familiar with. Many things have been clouding my mind as of late. My woeful financial situation. Trying to find a source to get my meds from. Trying to make it home without getting murdered. But why is it that bumping into someone I barely knew in high school is fucking with my head so much? Can we take a moment to appreciate the quality of art that we've just seen already? All the new assets.
These CGs have been phenomenal.
These are great actually. These are fantastic, and it's a good use of the existing assets from Snoot Game too.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go get us some a little bit of a snacky snack real quick. Because my tumbly's getting rumbly with the fiending for what only a hand can satisfy.
True. And while Luke is gone, I'll also like to say that the choice of music in the mod has been great so far. Helps with the melancholic tone of the story as a whole.
25 cents, my friend, is all it takes to see perfection. The snack is leftover pizza.
True. Honestly, I might go do that myself.
Yeah. Go get you a snack. I'll wait for you, Sierra. I'll hold down the castle. And also, V8, what do you think I am? Some sort of rube? You don't think I'm capable of being professional in this setting? Now, I assure you, those responses were internal. Keep in mind. But as the sniper says, professionals have standards. Some standards. Not a lot. Not a lot, mind you. How are you finding my vocalizations so far? Are they pretty good? I bet they're pretty good. I need to dust the cobwebs out of my throat. Let me also get something to drink, such as water. And I think you'll be happy to hear, V, that we're still doing D&D tonight. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna leave a bowl of Kit Kats outside, since it is Halloween and I live in a suburban area. Thankfully, the microphone isn't picking up my chewing noises from this pizza. Apple so bad we squeeze straight high quality refreshing cider from its flesh. You talking about Johnny Appleseed? Let me look up his actual name.
Oh,
John Chapman. John Chapman is the guy who went by Johnny Appleseed. And what he planted were not eating apples. They were beer making apples, and they were delicious and very respectable. Kept people warm, let them clean their stoves and whatnot. It's kind of cool. Anyway, are we ready to continue the reading, Sierra? I waited for you.
yes.
I'll always wait.
I return for now until I retrieve my pizza.
I see. Just let me know when you do that.
Yes.
But why is it that bumping into somebody that I barely knew in high school is fucking with my head so much? I'm trying not to hiccup. I haven't really given that much thought to friendship after high school. I always find a way to fuck everything up one way or another, and after what happened, what I caused to happen, no, never again. After all, Stella's reaction proves that reconnecting with my old friends was a terrible idea. Rosa probably feels the same way as Stella. Probably the same with Reed and Trish, too. Especially her. Never forget you did this, and you deserve everything else coming to you. Naomi was absolutely right. Not that I have any shits left to give at this point. Fuck! My pity party comes to an abrupt and violent stop as I feel the brutal force of a blunt object smashing into my leg. My crippled leg. The blunt object comes towards my leg again, hitting the leg brace and filling the air with the sound of metallic striking metal, along with whatever's left of my leg brace hitting the ground in scattered pieces. The pain is so intense my leg feels like it's been lit on fire. I fall on my back where I can briefly catch a glimpse of my attacker, a menacing yet short triceratops in a large gray coat with her face obscured by a paintball mask. I can only stare at them in shock as they move close, their gloved hands gripping a lightly bloodstained bat. Behind the figure I see Fang standing behind them. She's leering at me with a cold and malevolent stare. Wait. I don't know what voice to give this. Shut it the fuck up! There's a deep cut. The figure spits at me with a muffled voice as she interrupts my cries with a swift kick to the face, knocking me out. Why do you want to make a scarecrow out of her? Skinny piece of a sheet. There's an in-joke for the Discord server. Sierra.
Or
Reed.
no, I am not being a Latina, you little shit.
Reed.
I'm the funny weed raptor.
Reed!
Me.
Reed!
Oh.
I'll be the Latina MILF, don't you worry about it.
Oye, I did that deal.
That pronunciation.
I live in Mexican land, but I don't know how to speak Spanish. What do you expect? I'm a fucking gringo. Don't just stand there, help me get to me to the van, vamos, ahorita.
I finally returned to my senses after fading in and out of consciousness for God knows how long. My eyes are greeted by the sight of a car seat to my right. Wait, when did I get in a car? I shoot up before a surge of pain comes out of my abdomen, causing me to moan in response.
Oh, you still bien, I know.
I look in the direction of the voice and see none other than Rosa in the driver's seat, looking over at me with a concerned expression through her rearview mirror. Wait, when did she... Rosa? What are you... What happened? Damn, it hurts to talk. Before responding, Rosa pulls her car over to the side of the road. When she sets her car to park, she leans slightly out of her seat to face me. Her attire consisting of a little dark orange hoodie with with roses printed along the sleeves.
This is Raptor Yusuf, so we found you. We're getting beat up by someone torn on this street near the pharmacy where Stella found you.
Wait, Stella? Rosa responds by nodding to the car seat beside her. The gesture prompts me to shift my position to get a view of the passenger car seat. There I see Stella curled up in a ball, arms around her knees and buried in her lap as she quietly sobs. I'm... Stella tries to say with a shaky and muffled voice before bursting back into tears. Wait, why is she crying? Did I really scare her that much earlier? Did I?
Not dear Briancas, it's not anything you did. Stella's been.
Rose's voice trails off as I'm sure she's trying to figure out how to deliver her following words tactfully. She looks at Stella with sympathy before returning her gaze back to me.
She has been through a lot of pain since that day.
I know instantly what day Rosa refers to. How one bad day and one shitty boyfriend caused innocent people to die, and God knows how many lives got destroyed.
It looks like you've been through a lot of pain yourself.
Rose's words break me out of my brief contemplation. I trace her gaze back to my leg. Only then do I realize that it's wrapped in a blood-stained bandage, and my leg brace is nowhere to be seen. Just my fucking luck. That brace cost more than I get in a month. My gaze returns to the bandage covering my leg, and I turn my gaze back to Rosa.
My manager gave me a first aid kit to keep my courage, so I did what I could to stop the bleeding. What did this to you, I know? What kind of person would attack the injured Chico and leave them to die in the streets?
Rosa's words flare with a mix of concern and fury, the reaction taking me aback. Why would anybody be this concerned over what happened to me? Besides, she didn't visit me in the hospital. Why would she suddenly give a fuck about me now? But my pitiful inner monologue gets interrupted by Rosa's continued glance as if she's expecting an answer about my suspected attacker. I struggle to answer while trying to describe the attacker. I was only able to get a brief glance before I lost consciousness. I do recall the attacker had a feminine voice, despite her voice being muffled, and she seems to be on the short side. The realization suddenly hits me like a truck. Oh, of course it was her. God, am I a retard.
Hey, it doesn't matter right now. We need to report this to police.
Rosa's statement pulls me out of my thoughts. Yeah, there's no point. The police aren't going to do anything for someone like me anyway. My reply sours Rosa's expression, but motions to my leg again.
Bisa take you to hospital. Tu pranzisa imunyan estado.
I'm really glad Spanish class is one of the few things I remember back from high school. Rosa, I don't have any insurance. What little money I do have probably won't even cover the hospital bill. Rosa's expression goes from the determined to the uncertain. Simultaneously, she begins to mumble something to herself in Spanish. Glad to see I'm not the only one who does that. Rosa, isn't your mom a doctor? Stella's soft words snap Rosa out of her mumbling. I can tell Rosa begins to contemplate Stella's suggestion as she rubs her wrist.
Your expertise, but I'm sure me madre should be able to help with Enon's injuries.
Before I can interject with anything else, Rosa faces the windshield and turns her key in the ignition, causing the van's engine to roar back to life.
No one's wrong, Enon. We'll be there soon.
Why don't they just leave me to bleed out on the sidewalk? I ended up drifting in and out of lucidity from the pain not long after my talk with Rosa and Stella. What little of the car ride I recall is rather uneventful. Every once in a while, I'd catch Rosa looking back at me through a rearview mirror. She must have caught on how painful it was for me to speak, so she kept her focus mostly on the road. Stella, on the other hand, managed to stop crying only when she withdrew a pair of headphones from her bag and immersed herself in her own world. I can't help wondering what could have happened to her to make her so shell-shocked. She doesn't look like she was injured by Fang's rampage. She also wasn't among the students I saw outside that day. Did she know anyone who died? I've only seen her hang out with Rosa and that one purple raptor. What was her name? Sage. Yeah, her. A couple times. Stella survived, but I wonder at what cost.
Oh yeah, we are here.
Rosa's announcement pulls me out of my thoughts as I get a glance at her house and its general surroundings. My eyes are instantly drawn towards the beige-colored house, adorned in cobblestone, situated in one of the quieter parts of Volcadera Bluff suburbs. It's a locale that's well away from the city, but situated right where the countryside started. The lawn laid before the house could only be described as immaculate, accompanied by a small but beautiful garden that crept beneath the house's windows, displaying various colors and plants. Considering how passionate Rose is about gardening back at Volcano High, it would make sense her passion would carry over into her home.
And I need your help me get that on inside, okay?
Rose's request is devoid of the authoritative presence I've noticed from her in the past. Stella nods, refusing to turn Rose's glance, and the two exit the car. The car door to my right opens before me, and I see the pious Ankleo greet me.
Vamonos and on.
Vamos. It was still weird to see Rosa wearing an orange hoodie and a pair of clean jeans and fall brown boots. The new outfit contrasted so much with the skirt and sandals I remember her wearing back in high school. Makes sense though, it's getting colder as we head into November. Rosa begins trying to help me out while attempting not to put my weight on my further crippled left leg.
Cuidado, Anna. I got you.
Thanks. I put my arm on both their shoulders, and the two proceed to help make the journey towards the house. From 10 feet in front of us, the door opens, revealing a middle-aged ankylosaur woman of medium height. No doubt that's Rosa's mother. Dios mío, ¿qué le pasó a tu amiga, Nina?
Oh, I can't. It's called the Starno Pira Mama.
Oh dear. Sit him down on the couch, we'll have a look. I'll be back in a moment. Rosa's mother addresses us when we finally go indoors, presumably switching to English so Stella understands her directions. After entering the house, we take a right into the living room. The place is adorned with typical Latino decor along with a cross hanging above the TV. I also see a handful of framed pictures of Rosa and her family. Judging by the other Ankylos I see in the picture, Rosa has a brother and a sister.
Over here, Stella. I need to go for a second.
Ahí estamos. It's going to be okay. And Anna, was it? Yeah, thank you, Doctor. I paused mid-sentence. I don't think I've ever heard Rosa's last name and all my knowing her. It's okay, Nino. You can just call me Mrs. Castillo. Mrs. Castillo redirects her attention towards my mess of a leg. She notices how the bloodstained bandages applied by her daughter, the slight rip in my jeans around the affected area, and the sight of torn denim reminded me of a past I endured not long ago. I'm afraid there's not much I can do here, Anam. The best I can do is clean the wound, apply some new bandages, and help with the pain. The elder Ankylo reaches over to the medical kit and withdraws a pair of bandages, gauze pads, and various medical supplies. I've seen so many first aid kits disappear and appear in the boomer shooters I waste my days with, but to see what's actually inside them is a new experience for me. Girls, would you please give us a moment, please? I think Anan would appreciate a little privacy for the process. Rose's mom turns her head to address Rose and Stella, who are both standing by the doorframe observing the two of us. See, Mama. Oh, okay. Oh, gee, Rick. Rosa takes Stella by the hand and gives me a reassuring nod before walking away to another room with Stella, their footsteps fading. Okay, mijo, we just need to take your pants off to get a closer look at the damage done. Not how I was expecting my first time with a middle-aged lady to go. God, what the fuck is wrong with my mind? I really hope I'm not mumbling any of this. Some rather awkward time passes. As it turned out, the deep gash on my leg was caused by the brave digging itself into my skin when it was bashed to pieces. Thankfully, Mrs. Castillo managed to pull that last piece of debris and disinfect the wound before applying new bandages. That was where the good news ended. Because of the attack, the fracture hadn't fully healed. That hadn't fully healed only got worse. I was back to square one, minus a bullet lodged in my bone, except now I have no leg brace or crutches. Just my fucking luck. Despite the horrible developments, I'm taken aback by how Rose's mom treated me up until now. She didn't treat me as some delinquent or burden, but rather as a guest. She reopened her home to me and showed me genuine concern and kindness when any hospital would have thrown me out for not having insurance. It's a miracle I was able to take care of the bill when I got shot. As my eyes lazily wander the living room of the Castillo household, I hear the slow footsteps emerging from the hallway. A fun fact, most hospitals in California are run as non-profits, so if you can't pay the bill, they literally can't charge you. As my eyes lazily wander the living room of the Castillo household, I hear the slow footsteps emerging from the hallway. I'll wait for Sierra. Blah, 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 blah. V8, do you know how fragile crutches actually are? They're not really meant to be swung upon something. They're just like thin, hollow tubes of aluminum. It will break so fast. And they're ultra fine machine screws that hold it together, which means that the thread is not very robust. It's made for a low tolerance so that it adjusts correctly. Goblins and shit, man. Also, my neighbor is working on his house right now, building stuff. So if you're hearing noise from the background, it's that. I have no ceiling fan on. Yeah, but you're like yeah, your regular ordinary crutches are made of very thin metal to, be lighter and less cumbersome. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I guess I'll just go, and he'll take over when it's back. Hola, Anon. How are you holding up? Stella follows right behind Rosa while holding a cup of her own with two hands. I brought you some tea. It's chamomile. I've never really been one for tea before, but I'd imagine it's a vast upgrade over the boiled dirt I've been drinking that passes for coffee at home. They're not flimsy, but they're not meant to. All right, so there's two types of strength. There's compressive and elastic. They're not elastic, but shear. The crutches are made for compressive force, not shear force. So if you like lob somebody with the side of it, it's gonna bend and snap. But if you use it like they're meant to be used, then you're just putting compressive force down on it. Well, yeah, that's an example of compressive force, V. You're just applying force straight from your shoulders to the ground. That's what it's made for. That's where the material is. I've never really been one for tea before, but I'd imagine it's a vast upgrade over the boiled dirt I've been drinking that passes for coffee at home. I'll raise the warm cup to my lips. The taste is rather pleasant. It's silky smooth with gentle notes of honey and apple. I'll have to grab this next time I go out and have cash to spare for it. I rest my cup on the coffee table sitting in front of me and address my host and saviors. Thanks, Rosa. You really didn't have to do all this for me. Why? Why did you two save me? Rosa seems quite taken aback by my question. Even a subtle degree of surprise creeps in from Stella's face. What do you mean? Why did we save you? Tehisiron Mushadano. We couldn't just leave a friend to die in the streets. A friend? After all this time, they still consider me a friend? After the way I ruined and abused her flowers the first time we met, after how shitty I was to Stella, who was just happy to meet somebody who shared their love of anime and did nothing but try to be my friend? After what Feng did to everyone because of what I failed to stop, why don't they hate me? Of course we consider you a friend, Niñore stupido. Stupid boy. Even my stupor of self-pity. I can't stop mumbling. V8, like normal crutches are not made of solid aluminum. They're not just they're made of like bent extruded aluminum pipe. And it's schedule 5. It's not very thick. It's like maybe an eighth of an inch thick. By which I mean wall thickness is an eighth of an inch. You know, it'll be like 3/4 to the full diameter of pipe. I know you never meant to destroy my flowers. Accidents happen, and I could just tell underneath all that angst you weren't bad, just lost. Those words echo the room with a mixture of exasperation and yet compassion. And don't blame yourself, not even for a second, for what Pupa Satanica de Merda did. That was not you, not for 1 second, Enon. No, I fucked up, Rosa. I fucked up real bad. If I'd have been a better friend to those around me, not put myself before others, things could have been different. My voice becomes strained, my chest tightening like a vice as I struggle to contain my composure. Rose's eyes meet my own, and I remain focused on them for what feels like an eternity. After a few seconds, her eyes meet the ground again, looking as if she's about to say something, but she's been cut off by a neighboring voice. I I don't hate you, Anon. The somber yet sympathetic words emerge from Stella as she stares vacantly at the cup she's been clasping with both of her hands. I forgive you for acting the way you did towards me, and I'm sorry I ran away from you earlier. It's just ever since it's... She finally looks up towards me. Her eyes tell a story of fear, pain, and sorrow. The struggling look on the Stego's face tells me everything. She wants to elaborate further and explain why she's become so withdrawn and meek compared to the bubbly yet socially awkward fortune teller I remember from Volcano High. But the pain's too great. Rosa looks at her friend with sympathy and takes this as an opportunity to regain control of the conversation as she holds Stella's hand. What Rosa is trying to say, Anon, is that she has been going through a great deal of pain since the incident As I told you earlier, she's been finding it difficult to talk to people she's not used to. When I took her to the pharmacy too. Rosa abruptly stops the sentence as if I had just entered a sensitive subject. I can see the wheels in her head turn as she thinks of how to explain Stella's behavior better. Meanwhile, Stella remains fixated on her teacup with a sad expression. Fue una sorpresa. We are not expecting to see an Aldama go there. It all became clearer the more thought I gave it, and the more... Oh, fuck. It all became clear the more thought I gave it, and the more Rosa continued to explain it. The shooting probably gave Stella some form of post-traumatic stress disorder. Seeing her classmates dead, her school in chaos, that could give even the hardiest person some form of trauma. Let me... Florida Penis Man claims there are more penis men. Sierra. I was not actively checking the Discord channel. That explains her massive personality change compared to the Stella I knew half a year ago. Everyone's fighting their own battles. The familiar words come back to me as I feel a twinge of guilt emerging from my gut. I'm not the only person who walked away from that school with scars. Others did too. And yet I've been here thinking I was the only one affected by Fang's shooting and suicide. Why do I have to be such a self-centered piece of shit? Things got real quiet not long after I had my epiphany. As I pondered upon my selfishness, Rosa holds Stella's hand as she looks towards me, assuming I have something to say after her explanation. I should really say something. Damn, I'm truly sorry, Stella. I can't imagine how horrible it is going through all of that must have been for you. I empathize with Stella, avoiding mentioning details of the incident similar to what Rosa has been doing, likely to prevent the trauma from resurfacing. Thank you, Anna. That means a lot. Stella's voice is still meek, but I hope my apology is enough to clear some of the things up in the air. The three of us spent our next hour and a half talking about what transpired in our lives since the shooting at Volcano High. Surprisingly, Rose has decided to stay and take a fifth year at Volcano High, confusing me since she never struck me as the type of person who would need to take an extra year in high school. She always seemed like an intelligent, hardworking girl. Rose explained that the incident opened her eyes and made her realize that she needed more time to contemplate her future. However, I noticed the level of doubt and uncertainty when she gave her reasoning, giving me a feeling that there's more to her decision than what she's letting on. Additionally, Rosa mentioned that she took over Naomi's now vacant position of student council president and is the head of the gardening club. This woman is trying to work herself into an early grave. I want to make a difference where I can fix everything that Puta destroyed. She's definitely referring to Fang. Stella's situation, however, seemed all too familiar to my own. Ever since the thing, I've become a hikikomori. I knew that word pretty damn well myself. I still live with my parents. Most days I don't come out of my room. I'm also not going to school at all. At the very least, Stella still has parents to look after her. Hell, just by letting her live with them, Stella's folks are already doing miles more than my own parents ever did. My parents pretty much threw me out and threw me away after I failed to live up to their expectations, whatever those expectations were. As soon as I said that, Stella began apologizing to me somewhat excessively. I'm assuming she's trying to give me her sympathy. It's okay, Stella. Not really your fault. My folks suck at being parents. ¿Qué pasó after you got out of the hospital? It tastes bitter, but I explained my situation after Volcano High. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell the two of them how I'm unemployed and not in any form of schooling, and now how I'm rotting away in my apartment in Skin Row. The news that I live in such a shady part of town surprises them both. But you guys found me at a pharmacy in Skin Row, not to mention saved me from getting beat to death by a masked midget. Rose and Stella only exchanged confused and concerned looks with each other to reply to my words. I guess I never told them about my living arrangements. Despite basically spilling my guts to Rose and Stella, I make sure to neglect to mention some of the more unsavory parts of my already unsavory life, such as downing pills like candy. Not to mention constant nightmares and hallucinations I've been having since coming out of the hospital. I only just met them again. I don't want them to know how fucked in the head I truly have become. I glance towards the clock and realize with a herald alarm just how late in the evening it already is. No wonder I'm feeling such a strong urge to smoke and shitpost at the same time. It's usually what I'm doing around this time of evening. Shit, is it really that time? Damn it. No, I'm catching the bus heading back home now. I can't thank you enough, Rosa, but I need to get going ASAP. Este loco, chico? You're not going anywhere with that injured leg. Nor with any of your other bruises and nicks still fresh. No buts! I was hoping just to go home to smoke and shitpost the pain away, but Rose is right. I can't stand, let alone walk. However many miles I need to walk to reach the nearest bus station. Besides, no one has been this kind and gracious to me in pretty much ever. Who am I to throw that away? Still, I do need a smoke, if nothing else, to help me dull the pain. Still, I need to speak to you briefly. Okay. Stop, guys, stop. Almost as if sensing my desire for solitude, Rose and Estella go up a nearby set of stairs to have their private discussion. I seize this sudden opportunity to indulge myself. With the help of a desk chair that Mrs. Castillo let me to navigate the bathroom without putting pressure on my leg, I guide myself towards the house's entrance and towards the back deck. Tiki, I'm aware I'm in for a ride. Listen, I'm doing the audiobook version of the fic. I'm aware. As I quietly open the sliding door, I'm greeted with a sea of stars in the night sky. I slowly lower myself to the ground, careful not to further injure my already fucked up leg. I then drag myself towards the edge of the deck, not looking like a dog scooting in the process. After finding a place on the deck comfortable enough to sit, I take out my pack of cigarettes, open the pack and retrieve one of its contents with a shitty dollar store lighter I keep in the carton. I proceed to bring the cigarette close to my mouth and light it, taking a deep drag and filling my lungs with the pungent yet soothing sensation of nicotine tobacco. I have an audiobook. Go listen to it. I have the first 3 chapters done. They're uploaded. Go get it. Along with art on the screen. That's kind of cool. I'm waving my arms at the screen like a retard oaf. I proceed to bring the cigarette closer to my mouth and light it, taking a deep drag and filling my lungs with a pungent yet soothing sensation of nicotine tobacco. This brand's shit, but it helps ease my nerves and helps in dulling the pain. As the smoke exits my lungs, I gaze around my surroundings to see just how big Rosa's backyard really is. It makes sense, considering Rosa lives in a more rural part of Volcadera Bluffs with only 2 other houses neighboring her own, that the Castillo family household is basically a ranch. Rosa and her folks must have a pretty peaceful life out here. I feel a strange sense of peace wash over me, especially with the stars dancing upon the grassy fields like a cascade of lunar brilliance. As I look up at the moon, its pale light reminded me so much of Fang. I wish I could have shared moments like these with her. What I wouldn't give just to hold you in my arms again and see you one last time. How are you doing? A gentle voice fills me on my thoughts. I turn around to see Stella address me in a shy yet considerate presence, adorned in an oversized pink t-shirt accompanied by black shorts and kitten slippers. If I weren't any more obvious, I guess she's staying the night too. Just peach. I mean, I'm doing a little better now, thanks. Don't be a dick, Anon. She came to check up on you. A hell of a lot more than anyone else in your life has ever done. You're not being rude. I understand you're not in the best mood. I'm sorry. Stella looks away dejectedly. Wait, Stella. I'm sorry? I just haven't spoken to anyone since high school. My people skills are a bit rusty. Not that they were any good to begin with. My eyes look and meet Stella's, albeit briefly as her eyes wander to the skies. After what happened, I stopped trying to talk to others. The lime stegosaurus sits on the step on my right side, but her eyes remain entranced in the stars, remaining silent. Booba! I almost died that day, although it does feel like that's what happened, or what should have happened. My response managed to grab Stella's attention, who now shifts her gaze towards me as I continue my monologue. No one visited me in the hospital, not even my own parents. I may as well have been dead to them and everyone else. After that, I've just been drifting through life with no purpose or meaning. And maybe it's easier this way. My eyes meet the ground as I breathe a deep sigh, staring at my hand holding onto the still lit cigarette, staring as the paper continues to burn and turn to ash. A couple of seconds pass, and I feel the light touch of a hand on my shoulder. Fate hasn't been kind to me either. Stella's expression fills with a mixture of sadness and defeat. I haven't really talked to anyone either, other than my parents and Rosa, since... Stella's voice trembles as she says those words. I know what you mean. You're not alone there. It's been hard. Yeah. Damn it. Why can't I be better at talking and having a moment with someone else? Has my self-imposed exile into neatdom really turned me into this much of an unsociable autist? So, how's your leg feeling now? Does it still hurt? Inflamed, throbbing, fragile. Those are the words that come to mind to describe how I feel. My leg feels like it's practically about to fall apart any second. I shouldn't say that, though. Not gonna lie, it still hurts pretty bad. It's not as painful as before, though. The shy Stego's expression turns into one of concern as she examines my leg in its crippled state. I still can't believe someone would just hurt you like that. No one deserves to be treated like that. That's incorrect, Stella. I deserve worse than this. Another brief yet comfortable silence passes us, putting my suspicions at ease that I'm not mumbling whatever self-depreciating bullshit echoes through my mind. So have you seen any new anime lately? A somewhat stupid question to ask, but it's the only thing that comes to mind to try and lighten the mood. Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of good shows actually. Let's see, there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Promised Neverland, Beastars, and oh yeah, Demon Slayer. I cringe a bit on the inside, being reminded of Stella's normie taste in anime. Still, the simple question seemingly helped brighten her mood. She held consistent eye contact as a slight smile formed on her lips. How about you, Anon? Any good shows you've watched lately? I haven't really been watching any anime shows lately, shockingly enough. In the past few months, I've just been glued to my monitor, roaming various drag heaps of the internet, and with the occasional rock ring playthrough every now and then. A fog that enveloped my brain makes it difficult to recall my memories of seeing anything new, except maybe. I think My less than thought out answer stops abruptly as I feel a searing tingling sensation through the fingers of my left hand. Oh, god damn it, I forgot about the cigarette! Ah, shit! I cry as I drop the cigarette and dispose of the remains with a hard stomp of my left foot. Wait. Fuck! Mistakes were made. Fucking caveman instincts. Anon, are you okay? Before I can respond to the pained breathing and panting, a tirade of Spanish emerges from the house. ¿Qué está pasando aquí fuera? ¿Están todos bien? The yelling emerging from the house grows louder and louder as the source of said tirade approaches the sliding door. Anon, what happened? Are you alright? Rosa calls out as she moves the desk chair away from the door and emerges from the entrance barefooted, wearing a set of plain yet colorful pajamas, and run towards the both of us to investigate my pained cries. I'm okay. I just did something I wasn't supposed to. What do you mean? What? Rosa's inquiry is cut short when she notices the stomped remains of a cigarette my foot just happened to be a second ago. Like a switch, Rosa's worried expression quickly turns into an expression of annoyance. Before I can explain myself, I'm interrupted by a smack upside the head from the souring Kylo. Ow, what the hell? No fumar. ¿Quieres matar tus pulmes abastar la casa? Besides, why are you leaving out this late? You should be going to sleep now. Sleep. It's almost exactly what I've been trying to avoid right now. But why, Anon? You need it most of all. You're injured. The tone in her voice softens slightly as she responds to my mumbling. She doesn't need to know why. She doesn't need to know, frankly, anything. I couldn't sleep if I wanted to. I have insomnia. The glance that Rosa gives me in response says it all. Come on, we know that's a load of bullshit. Her piercing stare causes me to give in and let out a sigh. Alright, I can't sleep, not because I physically can't, but because I don't wanna. I've had nothing but nightmares where I'm forced to relive that day again and again, each and every one becoming more gruesome and horrific than the last, and I just can't, not anymore. Rosie kneels down next to me and raises a hand, but she places it on my shoulder rather than across my head this time. Lo siento, Renan. I cannot even imagine how hard that must be for you. But you need to rest. By the way, the usual wardrobe put some fucking silencers on those. It will only be much harder for your leg to heal if you don't get actual sleep. I don't really want to fall asleep. Still, seeing how fucked my leg is right now and how I don't really have much choice, you don't really have anything to help me stay awake, I guess I don't really have much choice. Especially when I'm trying to reason with Rosa. Okay. Maybe not. Here, I'll help you up. Just like before, Rosa approaches my right side, and before she can ask, Stella approaches my left, ready to help me. Okay, unos, dos, tres. We go back inside where the two help me in the desk chair they've lent me. Oh, by the way, Anon, we found some pillows and blankets for you on the couch, including one for your leg. Rose informs me as she wheels me through the house, passing through the kitchen hallway, on our way to the living room. Thanks, Rose. I don't know what to say. Rose simply responds with a friendly smile. We finally enter the living room, and I see a couch adorned with 3 fresh pillows and an oversized yet equally fluffy white blanket. I mean it, really. You've done so much for me tonight. I really appreciate it. Both Rose and Stella smile again, although Stella's more shy and subtle, with Rose's more than Rose's confident smile. Of course, we're what are friends for, after all? Rosa nods before turning around to disappear for the night. Buenas noches, Enan. Only Stella remained in the living room with me, who stood a couple feet away from me, fidgeting and avoiding eye contact. I'm glad we found you again. Yeah, me too. She stops her fidgeting and turns to follow in the direction that Rosa left, but not before stopping by the door. She turns her head towards me slightly. I can see a slight smile on her beak. Have a good night. I hope you feel better in the morning. Thanks, Stella. You too. Her smile remained as she gave a slight head bow before departing the living room, leaving me alone in the living room of the Castillo household. The room before me stood dimly lit by the lamp placed beside the makeshift bed and on one of the tables. This couch alone looks comfier than my bed. I'm gonna hate myself in the morning for agreeing to this, aren't I? I shift my itself from the desk chair onto the couch with a flare of caution to further fucking damage onto my leg. Success. I slip under the blanket, placing my leg on the pillow meant to offer comfort and support. I usually sleep on my side, but I don't feel like waking everybody up in the house with my screams tonight. Damn, this really is comfortable. If I want to sleep tonight, I would really enjoy this. With only one thing left to do, I reach over to the lamp on my table and turn off the lights, and watch as the room fades to black, surrounding me in comfortable darkness, inviting my body to sink into the couch, enveloping me in its warmth. After everything, I still can't believe those two still helped me and let me stay in the night. A simple phrase of words echoed through my mind as I drift to sleep. Do I truly deserve this? Another day, another attempt of trying to go 6 hours without wanting to blow my brains out. After a relatively uneventful long walk, I finally approach a school, not particularly bothered by how late I am. It's particularly foggy. It's a particularly foggy day out, as the clouds are enshroud the sky, giving a degree of eeriness commonly seen in shitty horror movies. A thought occurred to me that stopped me in my tracks. Weird how I just noticed this now. I didn't see it when I. Wait, why don't I remember leaving my apartment this morning? Huh, weird. I make my way closer and closer to the school, but a buzz emanates from my pocket, beckoning me to grab my phone and read the notifications. A text from Fang. We know how this goes. Control of my life you denied, and now death approaches from the sky. Why did it have to be me you had to vilify? Goodbye, Volcano High. What in the actual fuck? Wait, the creator of Invader Zim is afraid of falling asleep? Honestly, that explains quite a few things about Invader Zim. God, this is the art in this has been just chef's kiss. Something's very wrong here. I approach the building's entrance with a feeling of uneasiness and dread. The closer I get to the door, the more I notice a disturbing lack of noise from the school. Sure, class has already started. It's usually louder than this. As my hands grip the door handle, every instinct in my body is telling me to turn back and run as far away as I can. At the same time, my mind is telling me to enter and investigate the building after receiving that cryptic text from Fang. Well, no more turning back now. I open the doors and enter the school. My eyes go shut as my nose is instantly struck with the overwhelming metallic stench of wet ozone, a smell that everyone knows instinctually. With my eyes open, I'm greeted by the sight of a school hallway, a place I've made myself familiar with over the past couple months thanks to navigating through it on my daily slogs. Something's wrong, though. Against my will, my eyes shut again. Try as I might, I can't open my eyes as I feel my legs carry me through the hallways, my body seemingly already knowing where to go. When I finally will my sight back, I've met with a sight straight out of a horror movie. Oh god, the school's hallways are littered with corpses! What's the button? It's, tab? Z? X? V?
Self-voicing disabled.
What is the button to do the thing with the not showing the text box? I forget. A sinking, horrible feeling grasps my heart as my mind processes the sight before me. Amidst the sea of red, the remains of countless classmates lay across the floor, the light from their eyes completely gone. Oh god, no. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't. No, no! That's, yeah, that's some pretty baller artwork, given the subject matter. Hey, look, it's Millhouse. I like the screen effects. A cry emerges from the hallway ahead of me before being cut off by. The shot startled me enough to lose my balance and trip over one of those bodies, falling face first into a puddle of blood. My arms feel like they're tied to cinder blocks, cutting off my breath as I try to free myself from the crimson puddle. A taste of iron fills my mouth as I use all my strength in a desperate attempt to push myself out of the river of death before me. Despite the red void's attempt to drown me, I somehow emerge back to the surface. I wipe away the blood from my face and try to regain my breath. Soon my vision returns to me, and I look to the side. Look at the corpse whose blood had very nearly caused me to drown. The first thing I notice on the floor, on the corpse, is his floral green jacket. It's riddled with bullets. His wings are misshapen. Oh no. Oh god, no. Nazer. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I return my attention to the source of the scream. But as soon as I do, the bodies that lie before me become alarmingly familiar to me. Naomi? Rosa Spears? No, 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 no! This isn't real. This is all just some horrible fucking nightmare. And I'm waking up right now. I just have to get out of here. I try to navigate through the bloodied corridor, treading carefully to avoid tripping or stepping on my former classmates, or once again falling deeper into the parts of the blood mire. As I try to exit the school, the more and more the victims become familiar. I see Reed, one of the few people who is genuinely nice to me, lying motionless on his back with a bullet hole straight into the side of his face so deep and large I can see the floor underneath him. Next to him is the upper body of his bandmate Trish, crumpled against the wall with a large gunshot in her upper chest. None of this makes any sense. Why the fuck is this happening? I take a left to follow the source of the scream. As I push through the set of doors standing in the way, I reach another part of the school. The first thing that strikes me about this new area of the school is how immaculate the hallway looks. It contrasts with the bloodbath I just exited. No bodies lay scattered across the floor, save for one. My gaze spots a puddle of blood growing larger from the green stegosaurus that lay huddled against the lockers, tears staining her face, and her stomach covered in crimson. Stella? Ah! My thoughts are cut short as both my legs crumple underneath, causing me to fall to my knees in excruciating agony. The impact of the fall on my shins only intensified the pain. I attempt to muster a scream, but pain prevents me from opening my throat further. I can only hyperventilate as the searing white pain ravages my body. I hear a pair of footsteps becoming louder and louder, the sound of leather boots knocking against the hard floor. Fear and sorrow envelop me further when a figure enters my vision and turns to face me. Fang. Her wings are bloodied and scattered with bald spots. Her arms tense as she grips a revolver in her right hand, the barrel still smoking hot. Fang stands still as she stares me down with eyes full of hatred and malice. Millions of emotions go through my mind as my eyes meet the face of my attacker. Shock, heartbreak, remorse. The sorrow I'm feeling right now is almost indescribable. Shut up! Fang's rage visibly bubbles from her as she raises the pistol towards me. You made me do this. And now you're gonna get what's coming to you. There's our first chapter, and might I say, it's quite exquisite. I shoot up and almost scream at the top of my lungs. Before I can, though, I bring both hands over my mouth and shut myself up before I do something I'll regret later. I start to take deep breaths as I try to stop my heart from bursting through my chest like a jack in the box. part of me expected to still be surrounded by the bodies of my dead classmates. But instead, I find myself sitting in Rose's living room, drenched in sweat on her couch. I take a moment to gather my bearings and pull the blankets off me, revealing that only one of my legs is injured rather than both of them. Fucking hell, as I told them, this is exactly why I try not to sleep. The dreams I've been having are only getting worse. Well, I'm awake now, at least. I quickly look around the room and spot the desk chair sitting by the coffee table to my right. There's a pair of crutches leaning against the makeshift wheelchair. Seated on the chair lay a note saying, for Anon, I already have crutches at home. They didn't need to give me a new pair. I really don't deserve any of this. Although I do need those crutches to walk. I grab both of the crutches and position one on each arm, and I lift myself off the ground. It's awkward, but I manage to support myself with the crutches and put most of my weight on my non-crippled leg. It's been about 2 months since the last time I used crutches, so I take a few seconds to get reacquainted with the motion so I don't fall on my ass. I put all the weight on the poles and use my right leg to move forward, shifting my weight back from my foot while using the crutches to move forward until I gain a sense of rhythm. Using that formula, I make my way out of the living room and into the corridor of the Castillo household. As I hobble towards the kitchen, I examine some of the items that decorate the hallway. Photos of Rose and her family, artwork, along with some religious memorabilia. Nothing too dissimilar to what was in her living room. But that table right over the hallway catches my eye and stops me in my tracks. A framed picture of a rather burly-looking older male Ankylosaurus. He sports auburn hair with white streaks and a rather bushy beard. He's smiling at the picture with warm eyes, and beside the frame laid 2 unlit candles and a cross hanging above the photo. The realization suddenly hits me that this is a photo on the table is supposed to be a memorial to someone that the Castillo lost. As I notice the words at the bottom of the frame, an epitaph, it translates to gone but never forgotten. Was he Rose's father? Her grandfather, perhaps? Whoever he was, he must have been a very important man to Rosa and her family. My eyes leave the memorial as I enter the kitchen. The first thing I catch is Stella sitting motionlessly at the kitchen table, still wearing the same anime-themed pajamas from last night, holding a warm cup with both hands as Fang aims a revolver at her head. Wait, what? No. Am I still dreaming? Fang's not supposed to be here. No! ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Por qué grites te pones ese loco? My eyes open to see Stella sitting at the table, hyperventilating, her hands grasping a cup of coffee, and with Fang nowhere to be seen. And now my schizo-tiered outburst has sent the lime green stegosaurus into a panic attack. Well, what have you to say for yourself, Anon? I finally take notice of Rosa standing by the stove with a rubber spatula in hand, shooting me an angry glare. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you guys for a second. Dios mío, Anon. Are you sure it was just your leg that was broken, not your head too? Setting the spatula down, she sits on the table to comfort the distraught Stego. Stella has her head covered by her arms, but her breathing slows down as Rosa rubs her shoulders while reassuring her quietly in Spanish. Unlike Stella, Rosa is fully dressed in a crimson hoodie accompanied by a dark black pair of jeans, similar to her outfit from the day prior. Sorry for being retarded. I had a pretty nasty dream last night. What I saw in the dream made me a little jumpy this morning. Rosa continues her confused stare towards me, however her demeanor softens, almost like a light switch went off in her head. Oh, see, I remember you said you often had bad dreams last night, no? Please don't. My attention is directed towards Stella. Her breathing slows down and her body relaxes as she looks up at me, face and eyes puffy. Her eyes are filled with a variety of different emotions: discomfort, fear, pain, and finally, sympathy. Please don't talk about the dream. The day that Fang turned Volcano High into a shooting range deeply scarred Stella, whatever happened to her. It seems any mere mention or allusion to what happened that day seems to upset her. Recalling how careful Rosa was when speaking to her about her friend's mental health, or how she'd avoid directly referencing it, instead merely calling it that day, makes me realize I should probably start doing the same thing myself. I owe it to the two of them, especially since they did do so much for me yesterday, even when I didn't deserve anything. The least I could do is not be a dick. Sorry, I won't say anything. I sat at the table and glanced at both Rosa and Stella. I'm sorry for scaring you both. I didn't mean to. Stella replies to my apology with a gentle nod. Rosa's expression eases at the slight smile as a slight smile appears across her face. Está bien, Enon. It happens. How is your leg feeling this morning? Are the crutches helping? My leg? It feels like it was about to fall apart at a moment's notice, but it's not as painful as it was yesterday, I suppose. I should probably be wearing a cast, but the doctor can only have so many medical supplies in her house. Still, it's not the leg I'm worried about. Anon? Stella's tone snaps me back to reality. It still hurts, but I feel better, that's for sure. I attempt to answer the conversations and their concerns in a half-truth, but they don't seem to be convinced by my summary, which prompts Rosa to analyze my words while Stella returns to her drink. So, how did you guys sleep last night? The question is meant to break the sudden silence that had befallen the kitchen, and to my surprise, Stella's the first one to answer my question as she sets her cup down and looks back at me. I couldn't sleep last night, so I just watched more episodes of this new anime I'm checking out called Vinland Saga. It's a really cool show. It's about Vikings and stuff. I find it hard to wrap my head around the idea of still watching any anime that isn't Magical Girl or Fujoshi shit, let alone one about Vikings. A lot can happen in 6 months, I suppose. Cool, Stella. How far did you get into it? Hey, niños. As fun as this topic is for all of us, I'm afraid we must leave very soon. Rose interjects after glancing at her phone. Why do they need to leave so early? If I'm going to drop you and Stella off home and make it in time for school, we got to leave now, Anon. Why couldn't that part of my brain that causes me to mumble like a dumbass get broken rather than my leg? Never mind that. It completely slipped my mind that it was a Monday today, and Rosa's still going to Volcano High. Oh, right, I forgot about that. Busy day today, Rosa? See? I have a test for my morning class, a student council meeting at lunch, and I also have to work in the gardening club after school. Rosa both looks and sounds just a bit tired trying to say all that. It obviously can't be easy having that much responsibility. Not that I would know, obviously. That sounds pretty productive. How about you, Stella? What are your plans? My question catches her off guard as she starts to cough and choke on her coffee. Rosa patting her back, she gave a slight chuckle. Oh, I don't know yet. Fuck, that's so relatable. I've got no clue what I'm gonna do when I get home either. How about you, Andan? What will you do? Crap, did I mumble my thoughts again, or is Rosa secretly a mind reader? Me? Well, Rosa makes it sound like she's asking me for my plans today, but I know full well that question has a broader meaning. What can I say besides what I've been doing for the past 5 months, withering away in my apartment while I aimlessly scroll the internet and replay Rock Ring on repeat till my eyes bleed? I don't know yet. Glad to see I'm not alone there? Stella's response has a hint of sarcasm to it. I've never seen her use sarcasm before. It's weird and uncanny to me. No importa. The day has only just begun. I'm sure you two will figure out what you want to do eventually. But we have to leave now if we're going to make it on time. I just need to put on some clothes first. Stella sheepishly states as she exits the room. Understandable. Oversized weeb shirts and cat slippers typically don't make the best public outfit. Wait, this gives me an idea. I just gotta use the bathroom first if that's cool. Por supuesto, Anon. Just be as quick as you can. I should have asked exactly where the bathroom was, since I didn't have to use it last night. I see 2 doors on each side of the makeshift memorial. Taking gas, I open the door to the left, and I see a closet filled with a couple of coats, boots, and a plaque obscured by the various articles of clothing. Only the name visible. Sebastian Castillo. Gathering from what little I can see on the plaque, it looks like some sort of award. So why would something so seemingly prestigious be hidden away in a closet? I probably shouldn't even be looking in here. I close the door as quietly as possible, not to let Rosa know that I am violating her family's privacy. I carefully step away from the closet and then approach the door on the right, successfully locating the bathroom this time. Compared to the rest of their house, the bathroom seems plain. Rather than the living room's colorful decorations and Latin memorabilia, the restroom is adorned with a mirror, soap, drawers, a sink, and of course, a toilet. The latter of which isn't why I went into the bathroom. I'm such a piece of shit for doing this. Looking at the bathroom door, I began to check the cabinets below the sink for any trace of pills, painkillers, Ambien, and Adderall. Hell, I even take some random prescription meds as long as it gives me the kick I need not to fall asleep again. Unfortunately for me, all I find is extra rolls of toilet paper and a bottle of Wakinodex. All standard bathroom supplies. The objects stare at me as if they're mocking me for failing to find my treasured resource or how I'm raiding my friend's cabinet for a quick fix. Vamos, Anon, we need to go now. Never mind. Sorry, coming out now. I flush the toilet and run the sink to avoid further suspicion. When I unlock the door to the bathroom, I'm met by a particularly impatient Ankylosaur holding a backpack in one hand and a pair of car keys in another. Ready now? She asked before moving towards the door. Yeah, sorry about that. Wait, where's Stella? As I ask as I shut the bathroom door and follow her through the hallway. What the... That's quite the face. I don't believe Aqualops had sharp teeth like that. Donde cree? She's in the car waiting for us, stupido. Sudden hostility from Rosa catches me off guard, stopping me in my tracks while trying to keep myself standing with the crutches. Rosa's scornful look quickly evaporates and turns into one of remorse as she realizes that the words that just came out of her mouth. Lo siento, Enon. I've just been dealing with a lot right now, with school, work, life, figuring out what I want to do once I graduate, and having to hang on to 2 emotionally broken teenagers. I shouldn't have snapped like that at you. Sorry. Rosa definitely seems a lot more patient than I remember. If I recall, she threatened to kick my ass with the dreaded chunkle after falling into the school's garden's flowers, or how I couldn't find after I couldn't do what she asked. But now, she's been nothing but understanding, patient, and kind to me of all people. Why? Let's get going, see? Thankfully, I don't think I mumbled that out loud. About 15 minutes pass as we drive back to Volcadera Bluffs. Since Rosa lives on the city's outskirts, the drive is a bit long, but otherwise enjoyable. I know, but she had like needle teeth. Never thought I'd be saying that about a scenic route. I've continued my earlier conversation still about the new animes that she's been watching. It's almost refreshing to see her cheer up compared to how the downtrodden state I'd seen her in as of late. Elaine meets this really big Viking guy who was friends with his father, and he's like really strong too. There's this one part where he even uppercuts a horse. Even Rosa chimes into the conversation, which surprises me since I didn't take her as one who would partake in anime. See, but there's no way he could beat Goku. No, there's the shock sprite for Rosa does have sharp teeth, but they're not like that aggressive. Raptor, Jesus, and I thought Stella had normie taste. Still, it's just nice being able to have a conversation with another living being, not just a loser behind a screen, and certainly not the dead. Is this what it feels like to have friends again? Even before becoming to Volcadera Bluffs, I hadn't a single friend ever really. After the incident, I concluded that friendship would once again be nothing but a distant memory to me. But I'm still not sure what to make of what's been happening as of late. Rosa and Stella have done more than enough for me, especially Rosa. And I repaid her kindness by trying to steal medicine from her family. Some fucking friend I am. A part of me just wanted to see this as a one-time thing. They only helped me out of pity. They didn't want the knowledge of leaving a former classmate to rot in the street hanging on their conscience. But another part of me doesn't want to let go of that and believes that their intentions were genuine. The road slowly transitions from a rural to urban as we enter the heart of Volcadera Bluffs. After a few turns into converging neighborhoods, Rosa pulls into a driveway, meaning we have arrived at Stella's house. It's a clean 3-story house of modern design, accompanied by a Hadro Civic sitting in the driveway and a well-maintained garden facing the house greets us. Makes sense Stella also has an impeccable garden. Part of me forgets that Stella also is a skilled green thumb, like her best friend. Thanks again, Rosa. I appreciate you helping me and having me over, Stella says in a rather cheerful manner as she unbuckled her seatbelt and grabbed her bag, not before turning back to me. And it was really great seeing you again, Anon. I hope we can talk again sometime. Why would you want to talk to me, though? Yeah, me too. It was great seeing both of you again. Would it be okay if we exchanged numbers? Wait. The retarded half of me is saying, lol, a girl is trying to get my number. Whereas the realist part of me is trying to find a way to refuse so I can just wither away some more. Oh, see, that's a great idea. Anon, let's exchange numbers too so we can stay in touch. I guess I don't have much choice in the matter, do I? Yeah, I suppose it's the least I could do. I comply and spell out my phone number for both of them. Not 1 second later, I get a message from the two of them. Hola, Anon, Rosa here. Astrology reveals the will of the gods. 2 messages that perfectly describe the 2 girls before me. He lied to me. It was nice to see you again, Stella. I hope you have a good one. I wave goodbye as the limestego exits the car and enters her house, her body language slightly more cheery and positive than earlier in the morning. Okay, Anon, where do you live? Oh no. About that. Tú vives en Skindero, I already know that. I mean, what is your address? I hope she's okay with this. I tell her my address, and to my surprise, she doesn't object to driving her car into one of the shittiest and most dangerous parts of town. Even the taxi driver wouldn't dare set foot there. No te preocupes, we'll be there soon. With nothing left to do, I lean back against the seat and look towards the window to my right, wishing to see the city pass us by as the car moves. However, I see a familiar face staring back at me rather than my own reflection. The face shoots a smug smile, contrasting my disturbed face. Christ. It's bad enough that you already fucked everything up with Fang and me, but now you're gonna drag Stella and Rose into your shit too? No, go away. Nazer, why are you here now? Why now? What's wrong? Too scared to face the consequences of your actions? I knew you were a pussy, but I didn't expect you to think that you were this sad. No, none of this is real. The Nazer I knew wouldn't talk like this, nor would be this vindictive. Am I being too mean? Maybe if you weren't such a shitty friend to everyone around you, maybe they wouldn't be so vindictive. So be honest with me here. Are you gonna let them die too? Please, no. Are you gonna watch them die like you did with me? Stop. Leave me the fuck alone. Takes me a second to realize I practically shouted that as the car makes a sudden shift in motion and comes to a sudden stop. ¿Qué demonios? Enon, what is wrong? Shit, how do I explain this? Sorry, Rosa. I thought I saw a bee. A bee? Did you also see a bee this morning in the kitchen? Por favor, tell me what's wrong. No, it's nothing, Rosa. Just your average hallucination. Don't worry about it. I'm just a schizo having arguments with dead people. Everything's perfectly fine here. Hallucinations? Fuck, I mumbled that. Shit. Well, I guess I have to explain now. Okay, I'll tell you everything, Rosa, but let's just continue on the road. Rosa agrees to the nod before shifting the car from park to drive, which kind of surprised me since I thought she would refuse, didn't stop the car to hear the whole conversation first. Okay, tell me what is happening. I let out a defeated sigh. I still see Fang every day, Nazer and Naomi too. They visit me to remind me of all the mistakes and how I let them die. They visit you? I mean, yes and no. It's supposed to be the reflection of the car window. There'd only be the jacket V. Like, I know they're dead, but it feels real. And they've come to haunt me by reminding me of how badly I fucked up and how everyone died because of my actions. That's why I freaked out in the kitchen. I dreamed last night that Fang shot up the entire school, and I mean the entire school. And when I walked in the kitchen, I saw Fang aiming a gun at Stella's head. I can hear Rosa mutter something in Spanish while behind the wheel, clearly shocked by my revelation. Ay, Dios mío. And you've been having these nightmares and hallucinations since? They started around the time I left the hospital. I visited the cemetery and watched Fang and Nazer's funeral. From a distance, of course. I didn't deserve to be there. I made them all suffer enough. And when I got home that night, that's when I first saw Fang. She just stood there, leering at me, eyes full of contempt and hate. If it weren't for me, she'd still be alive. My confession is interrupted as the car comes to a sudden stop. No digas una palabra más. Rosa unbuckles her seatbelt and turns from the driver's seat to face me. Her face is full of sadness, concern, and anger, her eyes shimmering as if she's on the verge of tears. I told you. None of this is your fault, Enon. Fang was a monster. She always has been. You couldn't have stopped her. Nobody could. Rose is wrong. Fang wasn't a monster, not to me. She was just a lost soul. Rosa stretches out her left hand and past her seat and takes hold of my own left hand, giving it a tight squeeze. You're not alone, Enon, no más. Fang era pura maldad. But Fang made you suffer, not the other way around. Rosa tightens her grip on my hand and accidentally causes a small amount of pain. You don't have to hide your pain, not with me, and not with Stella. We're here for you. You are? Of course. ¿Para qué sirven los amigos? I apparently mumbled that out loud as Rosa's lips creep into a smile. Before you woke up, Stella told me how happy she was that we found you again. We were so worried about what happened to you after the shooting. I haven't seen her that happy in a long time, Enon. Really? Me? Why? I can't say too much, but Stella sees a bit of herself in you. And it makes her happy to see that there's someone she can relate to. Someone she can relate to? Wait, is this referring to Stella's anime obsession? Plus, I'm pretty sure Stella enjoys gardening too. Wait, she can't relate to you? I thought you guys were best friends. Oh, we are for sure. She's like a hermana to me. That's a fucking solid ass sprite right there. That's a very good actually. But you know, she has her passions and I have my own. De todos modos, I wanted to ask. Sarah and I are planning to get lunch on Friday, and we wanted to ask if you would like to come. They want me to go to lunch with them? I mean, money's really tight right now. I can't really afford to be blowing it all on eating out. But it is nice to see them again. I still don't quite know what to make of a reunion, but part of me wants to see them again and to know that I won't be alone. Yeah, I'd like to join in that lunch, Rosa. The light washes across the Ankylosaur's face as she finally lets go of my hand, leaving behind a slight shade of blue across the skin. Maravilloso. I'll be sure to fill you in all the details later. Rosa turns back to the windshield and adjusts the car from park to drive as we continue our journey to Skin Row. As I contemplate her words and her invitation, a new wave of emotion washes over me, contrasting the ones that have plagued my mind for the past 5 months. Anticipation, satisfaction, perhaps even joy. I'm not alone anymore. Huh.
One day earlier, those eyes look up at me begging. Fucking pathetic.
Wait.
Fuck you.
Shut the fuck up.
I slammed the metal bat against his chest. Again and again, each swing more brutal than the last. The skinny bastard fucking dies today.
You took everything from me. Just fucking die, you piece of shit.
I get a couple swings against his leg for good measure. I hear a sharp crack as the metal meets his skin. Fuck, he passed out from the pain. No good.
Get the fuck up!
I shouted at the groveling little monkey, giving him a kick to the groin.
I need your awake for this.
I raise the baseball bat towards his head and take aim. Before I can bash his brains out, a voice shouts to me from the car behind and distracts me.
Oh yeah, Eliette de hell.
What, Rosa? Is that Stella too? Fucking hell, everyone in the acid of Skin Row's gonna hear this racket. I gotta get out of here. I don't want to leave my work unfinished, but I'll find him again. I give him a sharp kick to the leg again, causing him to cry out and take off as quickly as I can, taking a quick turn to the alleyway to my right. I don't know if they're following me or not, so I instinctively take cover behind one of the dumpsters. Fuck everyone who ever talks shit about me for being short. I wait a few moments, anticipating the footsteps of my pursuers to become louder and louder, but all I hear is the distant yelling of Spanish.
¿Qué está haciendo? Ven, mételo en carro. Ahora.
I don't speak Spanish, so I can only assume Rosa's calling me out. Fucking cunt. Why would she instead save a worthless human who did nothing but cause misery for everyone around him?
Don't just stand there. Help me get him into the van. Vamos!
Wait, they're not coming after me? My suspicions come true and my eardrums are greeted by the obnoxious sound of rubber hitting the cracked pavement road as the tire screeches becomes fainter. After a few moments of silence, I can only assume that they're long gone now. I remove the paintball mask first as the cold wind hits my face, kissing my scales with a chill. Fuck the both of them. Fuck Anon, fuck that weirdo anime-loving stego bitch, and fuck that stupid religious fascist. The heavy panting caused by my adrenaline quickly turns into a rage. Why couldn't I finish the job? Why couldn't I make things right for Fang?
This is hurting my voice quite a bit.
My grip on the bat tightens. Why couldn't I fucking kill Anon, damn it? The dumpster echoes through the alleyway with a twang sound as I take up my rage, beating it as hard as I can. Fucking skinny bastard! And then, as if the wind knocked out of me, I drop the bat as I'm left with an exhaustion despite still seething with cold hatred.
I wouldn't quite call that cold.
Beneath that hatred is sorrow. No friends left. My family wants nothing to do with me. No real future, and Fang is gone forever. I could have done better. No, I should have done better. My job's not over yet. I still have work to do. I crouch down and reach under the dumpster, pull out a worn black duffel bag that hockey players usually store their equipment. I still can't believe I had to wear this ridiculous fucking outfit when I pulled this job. Raptor Jesus, it looks like a character from one of Riley's video games. No better time than now to get this shit off. I drop the mask from my hands as it lands into the bag. I begin taking off all the other articles of clothing, along with the steel-toed boots that I was wearing. By the time I take everything else off, I'm wearing nothing but a tank top and some light shorts. The thought crosses my mind that I'm actively stripping down, and not just a cold autumn evening, but doing it in the dark alleyway of Skin Row of all places. Eager to warm myself up, I unzip the bag, revealing a clean pair of clothes consisting of my favorite yellow hoodie and my typical track pants and red boots. One of the only things I could grab when I left home. I begin dressing as quickly as I can while hiding behind a dumpster. I don't want some perv to see me half naked in an alleyway. The cold makes it difficult to move my arms around the hoodie to properly fit it in. After hastily getting dressed, all that's left is to put everything away. I pick up the bat, notice the bloodstains on it.
Ha! That's only her internal monologue, V.
Despite failing at my job, I can't help but feel the corners of my mouth rise with some satisfaction. Pretty sure I fucked up Anon's leg even more. I wouldn't be surprised if that shit never heals now. I cleaned the bout with some disinfectant wipes I packed with everything else and began to carefully wrap it with the getup that I disguised myself in. Kind of like a Christmas present.
I need to hit the fucking Reds.
After pulling the clothes and bat away and zipping the bag shut, I sling it across my back and plan out my route.
Oh, somebody's trying to get my attention. Smooth Rock doesn't deserve to be a mod.
All that's left now is to head to Little True and get rid of the evidence. One of the few places that hasn't abandoned me.
She's just trying to sound like literally the coolest guy ever. Me.
An hour passes and I finally enter one of the livelier areas of Little Troodon. This part of town reminds me of home, making me feel at ease, even if only briefly. Approaching the end of the street corner, I turn around and instantly spot my destination. Dinomo's Pizzeria. As I approach the restaurant entrance, I glance through the windows to see the establishment filled almost to capacity. I'm honestly surprised. Why the hell are there so many people here on a Sunday night? Just what I fucking needed. The entire building of people to see some Triceratops thug carrying a duffel bag containing a bad Halloween costume and a formerly bloody bat. Let's just get this over with. I enter the restaurant, opening the door with one hand, careful not to hit the door with my bag. The bell rings at my arrival, and my nostrils are hit with the overwhelming scent of cheese, tomato sauce, and meat. Carnivore meat.
I gotta use the bathroom. And also catch my fucking breath.
This is where I make my appearance known again, because I'm gonna do a funny, and hopefully it comes across on stream.
I know why it's so taxing on my voice. It's because I don't have my usual tea with me that I do when I read. Ah ha ha ha!
I'm over here joiking my cannoli.
What was that? What do you say, Sierra?
B said the funny side played the soundboard. Yes!
We have so many soundboards. You know, this comes into the fucking thing.
Come on, shut up with those pizza ovens and come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
I played the Jork and Cannoli and came across on stream.
Yeah, the soundboards come through.
Mom needs all 5 pounds perfectly caramelized.
I enter the restaurant, opening the door with one hand, carefully not to hit the door with my bag. A bell rings at my arrival, and my nostrils are hit with the overwhelming scent of cheese, tomato sauce, and meat, carnivore meat.
Welcome to the historic Dynamo's, table for one.
A human woman calls to me with an unenthusiastic expression, dressed in a typical apron and a hat with the Dynamo's logo. I'm here to see the manager.
Okay, well, hang on. We got a code K at the front desk.
Code K, did this bitch just call me a carrot? A Karen, I'm coming. I've had enough monkeys to deal with today already.
Finally, the jolly-looking Tyrannosaurus Rex comes around the corner. Sorry, I'm munching on some pizza right now. Cold sausage pizza. Sigurd, do you like hot sausage?
Yes, I like hot sausage on pizza. It's very good.
I didn't know you're
Yeah,
gay.
balls. Why, yes. I'm a Jorker cannoli now.
Mm-hmm.
Something you can do about it.
Everybody in this server is my Discord kitten.
Call me that again. I'll travel to Kansas and murder your ass. You're my kitten.
No, this is my server.
And I'm the head admin. You're my kitten.
I'm still server owner.
I'm gonna kill myself now.
Finally, the jolly-looking Tyrannosaurus Rex comes from around the corner where the server was looking.
Hey, Trisha. Good to see ya. Just come into my office in the back. I'll be right with you. Will do, Mo. I dryly nod as I begin to heed his direction, passing by all of the tables that people are having dinner as they stare at me.
What the fuck are they looking at?
Oh no, a Triceratops. She's gonna ruin our shitty dinner with her short temper. It takes all I have to resist the urge to tell these shitheads off. V8, I was just joking, man. It was a joke, I swear. Jam specifically is my Discord kitten. I think that's agreeable to everybody that it's Jam specifically.
I finally entered the room in the back to see a rather well-maintained and clean office, equipped with a filing cabinet, some shelves containing various awards, and framed newspapers, with, of course, some booze. Centered against the wall lies a rather clean-looking oak desk. The only objects on it are filing board with 2 glasses. I'm surprised Mo keeps this place so clean considering those tiny arms of his. I sit in the chair adjacent to the wall as I continue to wait for the lively Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm overwhelmed with the thoughts that have been racing through my head the past few days. Are my siblings okay? Why isn't Reed answering my texts? Why couldn't I kill that skinny bastard? I had him right where I wanted him. But before I could finish him off, those 2 goody losers from school showed up and ruined everything. Why would they even want to protect a piece of shit like him? Anon ruined everything. He took Fang away from me.
Alright, so sorry about that. We just had to deal with some tables, you know how it is. I turn around to see the usually larger-than-life crowd from the restaurant owner dissipate into a rather calm one, betraying his usual persona as the door closes. So, did you do it? I nod as I unzip the duffel bag to show him both the bat and those still bloody wipes along with the shitty disguise. Mo lets out a deep sigh as he walks over to the shelf and grabs a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, you know, we don't usually serve underage patrons here, but it looks like you could use a stiff drink right now. He offers me a glass as he returns to the bottle at his desk.
I'm not a patron.
I beg you to differ. Considering all those jobs you've taken in the past 2 months. He chuckles as he pours the whiskey into 2 glasses,
Filling them both with Albert Ambrosia.
but not before placing an envelope in front of me. I can briefly make out shades of green through the paper.
You know,
You know I didn't do this for money. Yeah, but you'd be an idiot not to take it. Look, let me be real with you, kid. Sorry, I gotta actually break into my Italian. Look, let me be real with you, kid. The only reason I tried do this was because I owed the buddy a favor. Not that old Mo here had much choice. Hopefully, now that you taught this punk a lesson, he won't be a problem for him no more. If you didn't want him to be a problem anymore, you should have given me a gun, not a bat.
my retort elicits a groan from Mo in response as he begins to rub his eyes, or rather struggles to rub his eyes.
Look, kid, we've already been over this. Woohoo! You have done good work so far, offering security and whatnot. But I don't need a hitman.
Fucking coward. He doesn't have the balls to see what needs to be done.
You're kidding, right? That piece of shit needs to die. Listen.
Mo's voice bellows through the office, cutting me off.
Listen, kid. Maybe you're right. It ain't a piece of shit.
Maybe he's that and more.
I'm sorry, I can't keep up that voice. But this suspension of yours with that kid isn't healthy. It's gonna eat you up from the inside out. But it's not too late to change a course. You're the good kid. You can stop taking these types of jobs from me and get back to the right path. It's not too late to take back your life. What the hell does he know? I pick up the glass and down the entire thing. The harsh liquid trickling down my throat helps ease my nerves before sitting back down at the desk.
My life ended a long time ago, Mo.
I proceed to stand up and walk towards the exit before I call out before I open the door.
I'll be back next Friday.
My response elicits yet another sigh from him as he further deflates on his desk and picks up his own glass. Yeah, sure. Be seeing you then, kiddo. Yahoo! I exit back into the restaurant and close the door behind me. I do my best to avoid looking into the eyes of those nosy pricks at the table as they glance my way with judging eyes. What the hell do they know? Have a good day. Miss Kenny server calls to me with a dull expression as I promptly ignore her and walk out the door. Once again, ringing the entry bell. Now that that's dealt with, I just want to get back to my apartment and not have to worry about anything else. Mona's high and mighty bullshit, and Reed just being high in general. After what happened that day, Reed really started to lose himself with that Carface shit. I'm not even sure how much is left of him, to be honest. It fills me with pain every time I come home. I see less of him there. I don't want to bury any more friends. As I walk home through the dark streets of Little Trodon, my mind begins to be overwhelmed as I'm reminded just how shitty life's been. After I proved to be disappointing as always, my family threw me away, failing school and just being a shitty sister. The former has been particularly fucking me over the most. Not many places want to hire a Triceratops dropout. Oh, I'm just another bag egg. I'm gonna cause trouble. Fuck 'em all.
And the worst of all, that fucking Skinny is still alive. Who the fuck does he think he is? Coming out of nowhere and ruining worm drama. Destroying everything we had.
Shit, I tried to go back into it. Destroying everything we had going on. He took Fang from us. From me. I loved them more than anything else, and he fucking killed them. I swear I'll find him again, and I'll bash his brains out next time for sure. The next 3 days have been excruciating, yet thankfully quick. Not surprisingly, since I had lost all sense of time a while ago. What are people saying in the Discord chat? Lord, let me have mercy. Let me add Umbra's rolls so to make sure he has the show member list. Let me search for Umbra.
The Umbro is arriving.
I don't know if he is or not. I need to roll to him. Rolls. There, I fixed his rolls.
Here, you focus on me. Don't do.
His Uncle Mo always said, don't forget to aim for the meatballs. Make sure your competitors can't make good Alfredo ever again. Trying to ignore a massive headache that makes my skull feel like it's shrinking as it crushes my brain. I've been just staring at the wall for the past couple of minutes, gazing upon its yellow stained brilliance. Although I can't say that these past 3 days haven't been more productive or eventful than the norm. A typical rock ring session here, trolling some Kenyan gum enthusiast forums there. Not to mention my attempts to find a new Adderall hookup have not been exactly successful. As it turned out, that bitchy pharmacist at my usual shop notified all the other pharmacies in the area, so I got blacklisted as a junkie. Just by fucking luck. I had to go more southern, by the way, because that I locked off that part of my range doing what I did for Trish. My throat's not in the right ability to do that anymore, so I have to go into more of a drawl. Just my fucking luck. Since I ran out of meds, I've been really sorely on that shitty dollar store coffee to keep me awake. Even then, it hasn't exactly helped. I passed out at 2 in the morning right on the top of my desk while watching this Eternia marathon. The dreams I had were... The less I think about them, the better. Despite all the hell I've been through these past couple of months, my mood has improved slightly over the past few days since my reunion with Rosa and Stella. Never in my life did I expect to ever run into them again, nor would I expect they would want anything to do with me. Umbre is in fact coming to join us. I was so convinced that they would just abandon me once Rosa drove me home. After having me stay the night, but they've been chatting with me every day. Both of them. Rosa and I have been mainly talking about what's been happening at Volcano High since the shooting. It was through Rosa that I learned that Principal Spears resigned, and about 2 weeks after the incident, along with Mr. Farnsworth and Mr. Suki. I can't say I blame them. It couldn't have been easy on their conscience knowing the students under their care died. Youths, after they guided through the daily slog, there one day and gone that very same day. Though, through our texting sessions, Rosa dominated most of the conversations, frequently inquiring about my well-being after I accidentally confessed to being a schizo. Have they been bothering you today, Anon? How's your sleep been? A part of me feels like I'm talking with my mother rather than my friend. Although Rosa's done more for me in the past week than my actual mom's done for me in the last 6 months. Possibly ever, even. As far as engaging as my texts with Rosa have been, my conversations with Stella have been far more engaging. The girl I met last Sunday, who ran away at the sight of me or broke down in a panic due to my freakout, was nowhere to be found during these texts. Stella was a lot more outgoing, asking more about any anime I'd been checking out while telling me about the new shows she's seen. Her taste has improved, if only slightly. It turns out that she even plays video games too, which makes sense since anime and tarot readings can be boring after a while. Although that's where their tastes seem to diverge. She just plays typical weeb trash like God Collision, Last Wish 14 online, and of course, fucking Parasarna. Can't say I'm surprised, honestly. Additionally, she told me that she's been trying to become a better artist by practicing in her free time. She even sent me some photos of her art. And knowing Stella, I was expecting some basic Fujo shit. Still, the images I got were actually pretty well done. It just goes to show how little I really knew about Stella until now. How little I knew about Rosa and Stella, actually. All of Stella's work seems to be the same general kind of idea. Close-ups of anime characters, some surrounded by flowers, one of them obscured by bathing in the stars. However, the one piece that stood out to me was her drawing of a particularly long white-haired human woman clutching her chest in a sea of stars, her eyes closed shut, tears streaming her cheeks, and yet the expression painted across her face showed peace rather than sadness. While I'm not going to pretend that I know the first thing about art, I can tell she really poured much of herself into these drawings. despair, sorrow, fear, and yet there is hope. I might be fucking editing the tone of this a little too much. While her art is clearly influenced by the anime she watches, paired with the typical occultist art found on tarot cards, many of her drawings seem to be driven by her own emotions and the trauma she has endured. Stella did not explain the meanings of these pieces when she sent them to me. She only asked for feedback, and seeing how sensitive she was when I saw her a couple of days ago, I didn't feel comfortable asking what these pieces really represented. I'll ask her later. Rosa did say she wanted to take us out to dinner today. It was originally going to be lunch, but I guess something happened during her gardening club meeting, so we had to delay it for later in the day. But still, it's nice to see them again. For the longest time, I was prepared to spend my life as a hermit, but since those two came back into my life, I've felt something inside of me that I haven't felt in a long time. I feel alive. What the fuck? The sudden rhythmic banging emerges from my door caused me to jump slightly. Thankfully, I'm in my bed. I probably would have bumped against my desk if I were sitting in my chair. I still do not want to repeat the cigarette incident. My leg's practically been held together by a shitload of gauze bandages, so I really need to be careful. Shuffling myself out of the worn mattress and taking hold of my crutches, I wobble over to the front door. For the first time in a while, I did some cleaning. My apartment still looks like shit, but at least I won't be tripping over all that garbage no more. The remaining mess is now regulated to my dresser and countertop. Quietly leaning against the door, I clutch my knife in my pocket as I take a peek through the loophole. I can only make out a blur of feathers obscuring the run-down hallway. Glancing closely, I can make it out. Feathers? No. Is this real? Is she in my head? How was she able to knock on the door? Is it her parents? Didn't her mother have white feathers too? If Trish could find me, then they would be able to as fuck. Vamos, ¿qué está haciendo? Open the door already. Wait, Rosa? I instinctively rub my eyes with my free hand and gaze back onto the peephole to see a rather expectant-looking Ankylosaurus who appears to be holding something behind her back. Anon, are you home? Wait, how the hell did she even find out my room number? She's only ever dropped me off in front of the entrance. Taking my weight off the door, I unlock it and manage to open it with my free hand, leaning back against the door for support. Hola, Anon. It's good to see you again. Ready to get some dinner? Wait, that was today? Fuck me, I've really lost all sense of time, but who am I to say no to a meal? Ready as I'll ever be. Wonderful. Oh, but I have something for you before we go. Rosa moves her arm, revealing a leg brace in her hands. Mi madre was able to get you a new leg brace to replace the old one that was broken. For me? I don't know what to say. You can thank me by coming with us for a good time. I couldn't help but feel a smile on my lips as well. Sensation has become so foreign over the past few months that I've forgotten what it feels like. Nobody's been this kind to me in what feels like years. Thank you, Rosa. This really means a lot to me. I'm about to say more, but it occurs to me that that something is missing. Where's Stella? Oh, Stella is just waiting for us by the elevator. Wait, didn't she come with Rosa? It's not like we haven't talked in the past few days. You're mumbling again, Anon. Oh. Not to preocupes. Not to panic. She's happy to see you again, but you must remember how she is right now. Yeah, that's true. I suppose that makes sense, given her shy nature. It makes sense that she would have an easier time conversing over text rather than in person, especially with everything that's happened to her.
Hello, Umbra.
Hello.
Salutations.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Wait, no, hold on.
Greetings.
Yeah, that's just
Obama blew up my fucking house!
Oh yeah, because it's relevant to this.
I'm over here choiking my cannoli!
I have so many people whose houses have blown up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I could get this entire stream copyright claimed right now.
Please no.
Probably not the best idea.
I could do it. I could just do it because Reed likes putting actual music into our soundboards.
Please no.
The phrase "you got the touch," taken from that one song, got an entire Halo stream taken down, or taken for copyright.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it doesn't even take 5 seconds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how it is for playing soundboards in Discord.
Yeah.
But thankfully, most of these are sounds that we've made.
Well, there you go. Hope you're enjoying the mod. by
Oh, it's
the way.
very good. The CGs are fantastic, I will say.
Aw, thanks. That really means a lot. Our artist
CG
did.
and music choice is
phenomenal.
immaculate.
I have noticed a discrepancy.
Sorry, what were you saying, Sierra?
I said the CGs and music choice are immaculate.
Aw, thanks, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, there's one discrepancy in like a description versus visual, and it's with Stella's pajamas specifically.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be anime themed, aren't they?
Yeah. We changed them in the mod just because, I guess, ease and like less work on our artist.
I
'Cause,
suppose.
like, there's gonna be a few other scenes where she has pajamas, but there will be some slight tweaks in chapter 5 where she'll have her hair down.
Nice. I completely shattered my normal vocal range doing a very deep voice for Trish's monologue.
Oh yeah.
So I've had to make some alterations to how I'm voicing things.
Nice. Fair.
I'm gonna kill that skinny.
Yeah, it was more in the range of "I'm gonna fucking kill you." It's just like I was doing a voice for what I imagine absolute Batman's gonna sound like when it's finally animated.
Nice. I like that.
That stupid piece of shit. I'm gonna bash his kneecaps in.
And you can see how that would understandably destroy a throat. So anyway, I was dropping down and put some more honey in my voice.
Hell yeah.
It makes sense that she would have an easier time conversing over text rather than in person, how especially with everything that's happened to her. I don't know why you'd be quiet on the stream.
Maybe it's my mic.
No, it's something with the settings.
Thanks, Discord. Very cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Mhm.
Thanks Discord. Very very cool.
Very nice.
I'm working on it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Anyway, this is just like a fantastic use of assets that you've had. Like you were using existing assets for some of the mod too. Yeah, that's a very good
Yeah.
use of them for the flashes. And then
Just a
I
few of,
and then you gave
the-
Rosa too many teeth.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which sprite you're talking about. But we actually, speaking of like the existing assets, we actually used a few of the soundtracks from Wani as well. Like if you notice one of the themes that plays with Trish, it's actually the same as one of Olivia's themes in Wani.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I'll
I
just
like that.
I'll just turn down my microphone so that maybe better closely matches you guys, and they can fix it on their end.
I could also just talk into my microphone like this if it helps.
I mean, maybe, I guess.
But I'm not trying to hijack your stream as like a ASMR tuber.
I mean, I can just put this in my mouth and start trying to talk.
Yomaru.
You know. Have you ever heard the concept of eating a microphone?
It is, in fact,
Yummers.
Yeah. Yummers. Where did the yummers thing even come from?
The boys.
Yeah.
But it became like
Fucking
an ironic
mammary gland
shitpost
drinker.
for a while.
Homelander
I
was
like
fucking-
milk and milk accessories straight from the teat.
Yeah. Homelander was a Blizzard employee.
He was bullying poor Train.
Because he made the unfortunate decision of being in Homelander's presence when he was having a breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anybody in any other like verse of fiction solos Homelander in the entirety of the boys. Frankly, Homelander's not all that strong of a powered individual. Actually, yeah, he's strong for the boys setting, but like, dog, straight up.
Spartacus could
Let
beat
me
that.
think of like who's like the strangest. Oh. Speedwagon solos Homelander.
Yeah. Because like
Bro.
he's the most powerful in his setting, and like he's got most of the world in the boys scared of him, so he's never really had to use his powers against anybody else that was like weaker than him. That's why he got clapped by Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Maeve, like in season 3.
Would Krillin beat Homelander?
Fucking Chaozu would.
For sure.
I loved all those memes from last year that were like saying
Oolong would do it.
Sporticus from Lazy Town would kick his ass. Because it's true, especially if he had the
Sporticus is a
apple.
god.
Yeah. And just give him an apple and he will, like, fucking rip Homelander apart.
Sporticus could probably take Super Saiyan God Goku.
Strongest American versus weakest Icelandic.
Star Platinum goes without saying. V8 said hello. Blake.
Hello.
Time to absolutely destroy my voice some more. Are you ready?
Hell yeah.
As we approached the elevators, my eyes began to spot a certain lime green colored stego leaning against the wall on the ground. Currently engrossed by her phone with her headphones plugged in. She actually seems rather calm for someone sitting by herself in the city's shitty apartment in the city's shittiest apartment complex. Stella? My words echo through the hall as the preoccupied Stella ignores my words. She watches whatever's on her phone. Oh no, she can't hear us. She has AirPods in. Stella, it's... Ah! Stella shouts in reply to Rose's sudden touch while remaining seated on the ground, hyperventilating. Her reaction almost caused me to land on my own ass. It's hard enough to keep balance on crutches. Hey, está bien. Look, Anon's here. We are ready to go now. Stella's breathing slows down, and she looked past Rosa. The distressed expression painted across her face quickly warmed up as soon as she recognized me. Hey, Anon, it's good to see you again. You too, Stella? Come on, there's more I can say than just that. Think, Anon, think. So, how's that Viking anime you told me about the other day? I can feel the tension ease at that question. And she lifts herself off the ground, and with a slight smile on her face becomes more apparent. Oh, I finished it already. It was such a good show. You should really definitely watch it. Okay, niños. We should probably get going to continue this conversation in the car, see? Stella and I both nod, and the three of us continue our way out of my apartment. I wonder where Rosa had in mind anyway. About 15 minutes passed since we left Skin Row, and the drive felt nice. The rhythm stayed the same as the past 2 times, with Rose in the driver's seat, Stella in the passenger seat, and myself in the back seat all by myself. Granted, I always preferred the back seat, especially when I was on a long drive with my parents when I was younger. However, back then, I didn't have to position my mangled leg to avoid hurting it. I take notice of said leg, now equipped with a leg brace where it was broken. The brace definitely makes it more comfortable and manageable. Trying to move around with a broken leg, having no other way to hold it in place, was difficult to say the least. However, the lively conversation I had with Rose and Stella helped me forget that sort of pain. Learning about what these two have been up to since graduating was quite refreshing. Meanwhile, Rosa told me about Spears' replacement, and most likely the source of much of her stress. Mierda, I tell you, Principal Roberts is going to be the death of me. There's always something that's never good enough. Meetings should be handled this way, or you can't make that change. I miss Principal Spears. He may have been strict, but at least he was fair. Damn, this new principal sounds like a real hard-ass. Spears may have been an exception to the rule, but if you aren't a tyrannical dickbag, are you even a school principal? From the passenger seat window, Stella gazes at our surroundings before returning to the driver. Rosa, where did you say we would eat again? I was curious about that myself. Where did Rosa want to take us? I have to stand now. I don't really recall her saying anything other than she wanted to take us out for dinner. Oh, it's this lovely little Italian place over in Little Throwdown. My heart sinks ever so slightly with those words. She doesn't mean. Remember that concert we went to last year? I'm finally singing again. No. Fuck, out of all the places we could have gone for dinner, why does it have to be that place? Fucking goddamn it. Oh, nice. Stella replies, full of feigned enthusiasm. It isn't hard to tell that she isn't the most enthusiastic about eating at that restaurant either. As Rose's car approaches our destination, a large neon sign begins to reflect the color across the windshield. Dino Moe's. Rosa put her car in park, surprisingly far away from the building. A quick glance into the front of us shows that most of the nearby parking spots have already been occupied by different cars. Hey, it's really busy tonight. Hopefully the wait to get in isn't that long. Hey, yeah, no kidding. I try to hide the guilt and shame bubbling inside me with a nonchalant reply. Yeah, My attention is directed towards the statement of the stammering Stego in the driver's seat. Visibly uncomfortable, her eyes pointed at the dashboard. Hi. Rosa takes note of this and places a hand on her shoulder. Hey, it's okay, Stella. I'm sure it won't be too bad in there. Plus, you got that on me, see? Wait, yes, you're right. Wait, did she? Do you need help with the car door, Anon? Or does the question snaps me on my own thoughts? Fuck, that caught me off guard. I should be okay. I attempt to open the door on my right and carefully move my non-crippled leg out of the car onto the ground. It was super awkward, but I catch on quickly. Bueno, let's go have some dinner now, shall we? The three of us proceed to make our way to the entrance of Dino Mo's. Rosa tries to match my slow pace, seemingly concerned about my walking ability. Stella, on the other hand, walks more slowly than either of us. I turn my head to see her trailing behind, hood over her head and both of her hands in her pockets. She's clearly not moving forward, looking forward to this dinner. And I can't say I blame her. An uneasy feeling of dread and regret grows larger the closer we get to this restaurant. It is a tight feeling in my chest, like a vice as I drag my feet towards the building. The restaurant was owned by Fang's uncle, who let us use the place as the band's first ever venue. The restaurant where we had our first date, where I got to see the girl behind that angry mask. Only for me to fuck it all up and force that mask back on her. Anna, are you okay? Fuck, Rosa must have heard me mumbling. How much did she hear? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I was just thinking about some stuff I was dealing with at home. I try to deflect Rosa's question, but she doesn't seem to answer me completely. Can we just appreciate the fact that I think we would all love to eat at Dino Mo's?
Oh, 100%.
And that, like, it just reminds me of Squilly and Fancy Pants going like, the food, the atmosphere, it's perfect.
Yeah, you just know they'd probably have not just the best pizza, but the best
It's just the
Italian food too.
dog, that appetizer salad that's like complimentary with the meal that they just throw on the table. Oh, I know that lettuce is about to be crisp.
The vibes would be immaculate.
There's some hoodlum with a violin in the corner playing Mozart.
Yeah.
That's how it is around here, at least.
Some nice slow.
Or
jazz
just
music,
like the shittiest PA system playing just stereotypical Italian music.
Yeah. And before it's like the Spider-Man 2.
It would most assuredly be several tiers above Olive Garden.
Oh, 100%. Although I don't think I've really ever been to an Olive Garden, to be honest.
It's food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's just too expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
Unless you're down for a challenge against their unlimited pasta. I think break even with that is like, they're like, the point that you've gotten your money's worth is if you can take down 5 plates of it.
Yeah.
Which is a challenge.
I'll have to try it the next time I'm in the States.
They're all over the place. You'll not have a single problem.
Oh yeah, like I've seen them like whenever I've gone across the border.
Or Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's, you wouldn't expect it to be so good, but it's pretty good. Good value for money. Anyway, shall I continue reading?
Sure.
I hope this is the voice you started using in your head for Anon, by the way. It's canon now, I'm sorry.
Sounds good.
I tried to deflect Rose's question, but she doesn't seem to buy my answer completely. Oh, but remember, we're always here for you if you need to talk. Crisis averted, at least for now. The three of us finally make our way inside the restaurant. To none of our shock, it's fairly busy today. There's already a group of people in front of us, college students from the looks of them, and they're pining for a table. Glancing around the establishment, I can count the empty tables on my hand. My eyes wander to the table where Fang and I sat. It's currently occupied by a disinterested family of 4. Emotions hit me all at once. Regret. Sorrow. longing. I'm too distracted by my own pity party to acknowledge the overwhelming scent of cheese and tomato sauce in the air. Okay, I gotta admit, that smells pretty good. For, better than the microwavable cardboard that passes for pizza I've been partially living off of for months now. Welcome to the historic Dinosaur Moe's. Table for 3 tonight. A human woman greets us with a rather monotone voice. She does look surprised to see another human in this part of town, though, as evidenced by her suddenly eyeing me up and down. See, just us 3. Right this way. As we walk towards our table, I get glances from some of the restaurant patrons as I pass their tables. Their expression is ranging from curiosity to confusion. I mean, I'm used to this shit by now, but it's like they've not seen another human anymore. After all, who's the one that got their table? The waitress directs us to a table in the center of the establishment, facing my friends as she abruptly stops. This table okay with you guys? Oh, I can't help but notice Stella struggling to speak up, her hood draped over her head while avoiding eye contact with anyone. Excellent, gracias. The waitress turns to leave, but snaps back towards us, looking like she almost forgot the first rule of hospitality. Oh, can I get y'all anything to drink? I'll just have a lemonade, por favor. Funny, I always did see her as a lemonade type of girl. And what about you, sir? I'll have a Stoke Cola. No ice, please. Thank God, I'm eager to have a caffeinated beverage that doesn't taste like mold for once. And can I have a strawberry milkshake, please? Does this look like the type of place that would serve milkshakes? Uh-oh. I get that working customer service must be soul-draining work, but does this waitress really need to be such a cunt? All Stella asked for was a milkshake. It's okay, it's okay. Could you just get her something like a strawberry soda? Surely you have that on the menu? Yeah, we might have something like that. 10 out of 10 service, huh? Sí, no es broma. She didn't need to be that much of a puta. It's okay, guys. I'm fine with strawberry soda. The Stego's affirmation causes a soft smile to form on Rose's lips. However, anything she says in reply is drowned out by the voices throughout the restaurant. I swear Mr. Jefferson needs to get his stick out of his ass. His deadlines make no sense. We'll see, Jessica. We may have to stop. If we have time to stop on the way home, we can check it out. I think that guy gave me herbivore sausage by mistake. The surrounding voices drown out my own thoughts, almost overwhelmingly.
I mean, I think she's cute. But I'm not sure I'm ready. It's the right time to ask her out, you know?
For the last time, I don't care about the new Claws of Duty game. Literally all of them are the same. You never really cared about me, Anon, did you? Wait, what? What was I to you? A joke? A toy? Another project to fix?
Oh no.
Wait, where is she? I gaze around the room, but I just find myself without the energy to do so. Tell me, is the only reason you pretended to care about me? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Was so you could get into my pants the last night we had together? Please. Before you killed me? No. Anon! The nearby voice pulls me out of my stupor, and I see both Stella and Rosa looking at me expectantly. Oh, what? Sorry, what do you guys say? We asked what you were thinking of ordering. Oh, right, dinner. I look down the menu and start thinking of what to get. I can still faintly hear Fang's words coming from somewhere in the restaurant. Damn, I haven't eaten that good in God knows how long. There's more Mimi news. I almost forgot what it tastes like. What the taste of an actual pizza was like. I miss the rich, cheesy heaven. Rosa sat across from me, enjoying her chicken Alfredo, or rather, a herbivore version of chicken Alfredo, which sounds much less appetizing. Stella, on the other hand, skipped straight to dessert and ordered herself a tiramisu, which she's barely touched, although she's been quiet all evening. I think coming to a crowded restaurant might not have been the best decision for her. We spent all dinner catching up with each other. However, it was mainly Rosa and I speaking. Stella barely said a word. So, I've been meaning to ask you, was there anybody you kept in touch with after, well, considering how I thought everyone I was close to was either dead or hated my guts, keeping in touch generally seemed like a big priority. Not really. Rose and Stella are pretty much the only friends I've had in the past 4 months. Aside from you two, I can't say I have. I answered truthfully as my hands slumped to the table. The other friends I made, well... My expression causes Rosa to sour, followed by a look of slight confusion. But what about Trish and Reed? Didn't you used to spend time with them? Those two, it isn't hard to imagine how they feel about me, and I can't say I blame them. Their best friend wound up dead because of my negligence. I'd be surprised if they didn't want my head on a stick. And speaking of wanting me dead, I'm about 90% sure it was Trish who tried to make that happen the other day. We weren't on the best of terms to begin with, Rosa. We got into a bit of an argument at prom. I sigh as the painful memory returns to me. And along with the things Trish screamed at me, when... I'm not sure she wants anything to do with me. Rosa looks down slightly, a sympathetic frown growing on her face, clearly upset by the revelation I just dropped. Plus, there was that whole shit with Trish sabotaging the projector during the assembly. They were just mad that you had a better taste in waifus than them. What? Both Rose and I look at each other with a surprised look on our face before turning to Stella, who's sporting an uncharacteristically smug look on her face as she picks a piece off her tiramisu. Okay, focusing on myself is depressing enough as is. Let's change the subject. How about you guys? Anyone you kept in touch with from school? No, Nice going in on. It's okay, but no. I did keep in touch with a few amigos of mine, but I'm afraid it's nobody that you knew when you were at school. I guess that makes sense. Even when I did become acquainted with Rose and Stella, I never really got to learn that much about them. I wonder if she kept in touch with... What was I thinking about? My mind suddenly struggles to remember my current train of thought. The voices in the restaurant started to become increasingly loud and distracting. All of the monotonous and mundane conversations about their lives, school, work, and the new movies start to increase in volume and intensity. Until I hear more voices that don't sound like they're really part of the restaurant's ambiance. What's wrong, Anon? Can't get your fix? Starting to get shaky? Fucking junkie. I don't remember whose color that is. I'm sorry. No. I don't think so. Those voices become alarmingly familiar, not sounding like they belong to one singular voice, but 3 different voices overlapping with each other. They're gonna ditch you too, it's only a matter of time. You'll always be nothing more but a loser, a waste of space. Your parents didn't want you, your friends didn't want you. I didn't want you. I can't take this anymore. Excuse me. I interrupt Stella and Rose's conversation to excuse myself, the voices having become so loud to the point where I don't even know if the words out of my mouth are audible. As I make my way towards the bathroom, I briefly catch the word expressions of both of my friends. My head feels like it's wobbling back and forth as I struggle to maintain my balance as I pass by several diners and tables. I make my way out to the I make out the sign to the bathroom in the restaurant's corners. I quickly waddle towards the men's room and push the door open. Without a second, this is a school bathroom.
There's
Is
no urinals. Yeah.
I'm looking at the sink battery. This is a school bathroom.
That ruined your thought.
Oh no.
Umbra, I'm a plumber. It's a fancy school, mind you. But this is not a restaurant bathroom. Not one for the size of Dynamos, at least.
Fuck.
Damn. Over. Let's the latest version of that.
I'm sorry. I just got fucking pulled out.
I'm good. Sorry about
Come
that.
back. Come back. Come back. Just make the background blurred.
Why am I like
Smiley
this?
face. It's okay.
Who's the greatest beta tester to ever beta test?
You might want to get one that has like urinals that stand up too.
Well, I mean, the urinals could just not be on screen.
Yeah.
It makes it usable as another bathroom, too.
No. Well, there are urinals though. Don't you see the things on the left hand
It's
side?
it's better to piss in the sink than the sink of the piss.
That
Exactly.
True.
I don't know what that is on the left at the end of that sink area.
That's a baby changing
Uh,
station.
Yeah, no, this is actually probably a restaurant bathroom. The urinals are probably off camera to the right.
Yeah.
Because I have seen restaurant bathrooms like that, and that, or maybe it's a rest stop bathroom.
Maybe I'm just from such a small town area that we don't get these in restaurants, but like, it just screams like school bathroom to me.
How many
Yeah,
bathrooms
no.
are you used to seeing in a restaurant? Like
Maybe 2
three?
stalls and 2 urinals,
Oh yeah,
and
that's a small time thing.
2 sinks.
Something.
Usually
Something.
3
suspension of
bathrooms.
Something, something. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Looking at it, that looks like a rest stop bathroom, actually.
But it's got a koala care station in the back,
Yeah.
and I know that's a brand
noticed
name, but
that.
like,
That's usually. Do you find those in men's bathroom?
you do.
Just make sure. Okay.
Single dads
I like
exist.
going there.
Plenty of
I know single
fathers.
dads do exist.
Plenty of fathers also need to be able to change the baby.
Or if the mom is
Now,
not
generally,
too.
what I see nowadays is, for the most part, those appear in the handicap stall to give a little more privacy.
Yeah.
This is a lot of semantics about a bathroom. I'm sorry.
A Target bathroom, the women's doesn't have like that it doesn't have the baby changing station like properly.
So, the Walmart near
have
me
one that's
is
like
actually pretty cool for this, but there is a room specifically for like
yeah.
mothers with newborns, or just it's specifically for baby changing. So you're not just going into a public bathroom.
Target has like 2 for some reason.
They have a
that
they have a specific room for that sort of
family
privacy.
bathroom. Yeah. But I bet
And like,
yeah,
just
Walmart
I mean,
does
it's not a spring-loaded door. It's just like a residential doors on it for some reason. But looking in there, the seats that are in there look pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, this is a weird conversation. I'll just keep going.
It's not that weird.
Without a second thought, I make my way towards the sink. Some cold water should knock some sense into me. Turning on the faucet with one hand while also using it to support myself, I grab a handful of water and splash it on my face. Fuck. I wasn't expecting the water to be that cold. Regardless, the ice-cold water splashing into my face helped snap me out of this whatever bullshit my brain was putting me through. Who am I kidding? No, it doesn't. Fuck. What did that one guy on the Australian blacksmithing forum say? Inhale, count to 4, exhale, count to 4. Taking hold of my right crutch with my free hand, I close my eyes and take a deep breath. 1, 2. I snap my eyes open. I feel a sudden chill down my spine. Oh, hold on. That kind of goes hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Always watch.
I mean, Dead Space
Always
theme
watching.
playing right now.
It's just that scene where like he's fighting his own arm for the syringe, but he thought it was his wife trying to stab it into his eye.
Oh shit. Need to play Dead Space at some point.
I haven't played it since I was a very small child. I snap my eyes open when I feel a sudden chill down my spine. Before I could make it through the next two numbers, my eyes take notice of the figures behind me, making my heart drop. The mirror's reflection shows the three revenants surrounding me, crimson, standing their angelic white wings, their beautiful amber eyes now pale and lifeless. Contrasting the hateful glare that haunted my dreams a couple of nights ago, their stares feel cold as ice. But despite their nightmarish presence, their facial expression tells a different story. Unable to move, I can only stare as the trio of apparitions, my eyes growing heavier and wider. Pain, anguish, sorrow, frustration. I eventually give in and close my eyes as the tears begin to flow. I'm so sorry, Fang. The light returns to my eyes when I open them back up. However, all I see in the mirror is my own reflection, tears straining down my face, after expressing regret to a figment of my imagination. I need some fresh air. This background here, this is what it feels like to be 14 beers deep at Chili's.
Yo, that's how I feel too. What's that going on? I see the Mona
You've
Lisa
been hit by,
there.
you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Michael Jackson.
That's my favorite choose your own adventure book. I'm grabbing hold of my left crutch. I turn around and hobble out the door, but not before another figure stops me dead in my tracks. A figure that hasn't haunted me before, but one I'm all too familiar with. A violet triceratops girl of a short stature wearing a yellow hoodie and red boots. Trish. She takes notice of me mirroring my own shocked expression. What the hell is she doing here? She didn't die. Why the fuck is this happening? She's not real, Anon. It's just your mind playing tricks on you to get you outside and get some air. Moving as quickly, I pass by the shade of my former nemesis, but not before catching a glance of her surprise, turning to rage as she mutters something to herself. Fucking bastard. She's not real, Anon. She's not real. Exiting the corridor, my eyes spot the table I was sitting at. I'm only to make out Stella's face since Rose's back is turned to me. Stella sporting a look of discomfort, not unlike my own. But I can't let them see me like this. Carefully navigating through the restaurant, I do everything I can to avoid being seen by the two of them. I just need to get out of here for a second. Same as before, I get stares and funny looks from most of the tables I pass by, judging me, inspecting me, pitying me. Passing by all these tables, I walk straight out the front door and hit the automated door button with my elbow. I don't even wait for the door to open all the way. I walk straight out the entrance as the cool wind blasts my face, the sensation intensified from the cold water I just splashed in my face moments ago. A group of doves flies out from above the sun and disperse into the night sky. I must have startled them by accident. I take a deep breath and gaze at my surroundings. The lights illuminate the streets with the absence of the sun, taking notice of the bench next to the restaurant as I sit and attempt to collect my thoughts. A sense of relief washes over me as I take the pressure off my leg. Or maybe that's just from getting away from the crowded restaurant. Fuck, these hallucinations have been getting worse and worse. And if I'm not hearing random voices or seeing ghosts of everyone I've hurt, I'm dealing with these fucking nightmares almost every night, to the point where it's unbearable. I'd imagine I would have grown desensitized to this by now, considering all the shooters I've played and the gore I've seen online. But to see it happen before my own eyes and have it played into my mind on repeat day after day, it's torture. The only comfort I can find is a fistful of pills or drugging myself with enough caffeine to keep me awake for days. Every nightmare, every hallucination reminds me more and more of just how badly I fucked up. How much I failed Fang. I can feel my eyes start to water as the misery starts to fill my heart. Anon, are you okay? Turn my head to see the face of the source of the voice. I see Stella stand to my right, hands behind her back and with a worried expression. Not really, but I'll survive. I sigh before myself on the bench to make room for it. I sigh before myself on the bench to make room for it to sit. Stella takes the movement as an invitation to sit, her concerned expression unchanged. Are you sure? You went to the bathroom in quite a hurry, and I was worried something was wrong? As Stella asks her question, I notice she is less anxious than I've ever seen her. I may have told Rosa what's going on with me, but I don't want to have to spill my spaghetti just yet with Stella. Yeah, I just need some fresh air. How about you? What brings you out here? My question seemingly catches her off guard. This is also very good, like, visual for, like, you're just an ant beneath my boot.
Wait, who is?
Look at Stella's sprite. Now, if you just, like, raise it to be so that the point of view appears that you're shorter than her, it's just like, you're an ant beneath my boot.
Damn. This is how.
You're not
feels
even
in
worth
5'3".
squishing.
Damn.
It's clear her main focus was checking up on me and seemingly nothing else.
5'9" women when they see a 5'9" man.
That makes some sense.
You're just a worm beneath my boot.
Careful.
What do you mean, careful?
Might be into that.
What, the cursed hell I bring upon this earth?
Yeah.
I also need to step away for a second.
Oh no.
The restaurant was too crowded and loud, and it was just all too much for me. I'm about to speak, but it looks like she has a lot more to say. Her brow furrowing and exasperation growing. I mean, I told Rosa I was worried about that I would be too busy tonight, but she just said, "Oh, it'll be fine, don't worry." Her voice grows in frustration as she rants about her friend's decision. I was tempted to open my mouth and try to offer what little comfort I can, but that's when it hits me. She's clearly been holding these frustrations in for some time. It's better just to let her vent it all. After all, there's a time to speak and a time to listen. I love Rosa like a sister, and I know how much she cares about me, but I wish for once she would listen to me. I wanted to go to this really cool boba place by the mall, but she brushed it off like it was nothing. Now that I think about it, Stella seems to have really been a little on edge all evening. I just assumed that was just her being shy as usual. Didn't really think there was more to it than that. Is Rosa really being that pushy with Stella? I feel like Rosa doesn't listen to what I have to say sometimes, only what she wants me to say. Did I say something? Do I say something now? Before I can think of how to respond, Stella's face looks surprised and quickly turns to shame. Oh no, I said too much, didn't I? I'm sorry. Rosa's been nothing but nice to me. And I must sound like such an ungrateful friend to say all that. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to make of the situation between these two. And I don't want to find myself in the middle of it.
You don't say that out loud.
Although, with the way Stella is looking at me expectantly, as if she's looking to find solace with my assurance, from what she said, it doesn't seem like Stella has any ill will towards Rosa, only annoyance. Nah, I get it. You feel like she doesn't listen to what you have to say. That's pretty understandable. Honestly, I'd be frustrated too in a situation like that. Stella's voice expression softened but with my words. Have you considered talking to her about how you feel? Oh, fuck. I think I said something wrong. I can't. It would be mean. I don't want to upset her, is what I'm trying to say. She's been the only friend I have left ever since. Stand ready for my arrival, worm. Stella abruptly cuts herself off with an expression that looks like she's been stabbed in the gut. I mean, she's pretty much one of my only friends aside from you. Glad to know I'm not alone in that regard. But hey, I wanted to ask. Shit, she doesn't know, does she? Fuck, did Rosa tell her? If you want to come with me to that boba shop by the mall tomorrow? Oh. Oh! Wait, is she asking me out? It's okay if you don't want to come, Anon. I'm sorry. Stella turns away, seemingly dejected by my lack of response until I was mumbling again like a coward. Or like a retard. Damn, I didn't mean it like that. It just caught me off guard. Why would anybody want to spend time with me? Alone, no less. Wait. My words caused Stella to turn back to me, her eyes widened slightly. There is one thing. This has no chance for me to read it. What I'm saying is I would love to check out that place with you.
That's a Stella face you might like.
Yeah, I mean,
Just wait.
it's just adorable, you know?
Just wait.
Are you going for like, is there just going to be the ultra moe look?
Ultra Moe look?
Moe essentially just means pointing something out and saying, cute!
Kawaii,
Possibly.
kawaii moment.
Kawaii desu.
You gotta pronounce the second I in kawaii, otherwise it's kawaii, and that means scary. Kawaii!
Kawaii desu.
Kawaii desu ne?
Kawaii desu.
Oh my god. I want to squeeze that kitten.
Now, what if you have an accent where you don't even like pronounce it properly? at the end?
You just have to do it.
Stella's
Wow,
face
you
does a
think
complete
they're actually
180 as she looks the
hilarious.
happiest I've seen her since we were both in high school.
Silence.
Really? Thank you, Anon. I'm so happy you want to come too. Stella's glee is reminiscent of her old personality.
Yeah.
Before I can open... You want to run that back by me again? Galumping is how seals move.
Wait, is it? Fuck.
It's called galumping. And yes, that's how that's the what they call the movement when seals bounce around.
Oh. I'm a dumbass then. Forget what I said.
You just said glump.
Sorry.
Before I can open my mouth, I'm suddenly hit with a blast of pressure, my mind taking a second to register Stella pulling me into a rather tight hug. Shocked by this reaction, all I can do is simply wrap my own arms around the shy Stego rather awkwardly. Oh! Oh.
Womp means enthusiastically pouncing on someone with a hug, though. Glumping.
You did it.
That as well.
That is
right.
that is what you call moe.
Yeah, this sprite and the one that was just before that are probably the two of my favorite sprites that Mina drew for this. So fucking adorable.
You got tinier. Hands got tinier.
Sometimes I like to imagine when I'm far away from people, I put my fingers together like that, and I think I'm crushing their heads.
Femdom giantess Tessa or Stella. What the fuck did I say? My brain is fried. Giantess Stella.
Yes,
Was
Tessa.
it? What the hell was it?
Listen, I'm just repeating things that my cousin has said to me.
Yeah. Wait, why was your cousin saying that?
I don't know. You know the relationship you have. It's a man cousin, by the way. Get your head out of the gutter. But it comes out as, yeah, sometimes I like to pretend I'm crushing people's heads in my fingers.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
We should probably head back inside. Rosa's probably worried about us by now. She's right, especially considering how I left the table. I do feel kind of bad leaving her alone. Hopefully she's not too pissed at me. Oh, I'm sure she'll understand. I may be a cripple, but I'm not that crippled. I still reach for her hand as she helps me up from the bench. If it's okay with you, let's probably not tell Rose about our plans tomorrow. Probably for the best. A part of me is surprised that Stella wanted to hang out with a weird schizo like me, or why she hugged me like that. I wonder, is she asking me on a date?
A couple of minutes earlier. Leaning against the wall, I try to collect my thoughts, or what's left of them as I wait for my boss. Or if I even hear my own thoughts. The goddamn chatter in this place makes it impossible to do so. Seriously, what the fuck's taking this fossil so long?
There's fun there.
The way he talked to me on the phone made it sound like it was urgent, but considering how he's nowhere in sight makes it feel like he's just wasting my time. Not to mention he had concerns about leaving Reed at the apartment alone while he's high as a kite. I really hope what Mo has for me is worth it.
There's only so much gravel I can produce.
Amidst the chaos of the restaurant, the first thing that coherently comes to my mind is my family. 3 sisters and 2 brothers, all alone, and my mom is doing God knows what these days. To this day, I still hate myself for how everything went down that day.
Get the fuck out. Don't ever come back to this here bitch-ass Trigger.
I don't blame him for one moment. They all have every right to hate me after what I did. Lord knows I do. Since Mo's probably not gonna pull the thumb out of his ass, I'm gonna come and meet me. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and freshen up a bit while I wait. I take 2 steps towards the restroom before the door to the men's room swings open. And emerging from the door anxiously is some fucking skinny. Wait, is that Anon? Ugly, bald, human, puke green clothes. A crutch under each shoulder and an unbroken brace on his left leg. Yeah, that's definitely him. I can only stare in disbelief, unable to move, like my feet have been bolted to the ground and my arms tied down with cinder blocks. How the fuck is he still moving? He should be in a coma after what I did to him.
I'm gonna stop that.
Just the sight of him moving around, alive and breathing, fills me with a feeling that can only be described as raw and primal. Pure, unfiltered rage. Before I can react, he waddles past me as if I didn't exist, but I manage to catch him mumbling on his way.
She's not real on. Just keep playing. I'm playing tricks on.
Fang did say he mumbled shit out loud like a dumbass. Just thinking Fang and Aaron in the same sentence infuriates me. Fucking bastard. I pause briefly as I look down the hallway and see him waddling throughout the restaurant. A thought occurs to me. I could kill him right now. Wait for him to go outside, wait till he got alone, and finally put that bastard in the ground and out of his misery. Fuck it, I've waited long enough. Before I can follow him, someone takes hold of my hands, thumping me in my tracks. I turn to see a rather imposing Triceratops man in uniform gripping me by the hand tightly.
Mo's ready to see you now.
I tune back to the seating area to see Anna nowhere in sight. He's completely gone. God fucking damn it. If it weren't for this fucking trigger, I would have been able to put this ape down once and for all. If it weren't for Mo. I stumble my way towards the office of my dipshit boss with furious intent. I'm brushing off the waiter who restrained me moments ago. Flinging the door open, I'm greeted with Mo's disheveled clusterfuck of an office. I spot him sitting down at his desk, about to pour himself a glass of bourbon. Hey, Trisha, how you doing?
cut this shit, Mo. You had Anon here. In your restaurant, you did nothing? My words completely take Mo back as he gives me his wide-eyed stare and blinks a couple times before speaking. Huh? Anon? Yes, are you deaf? He was just in here. Mo gazes upon the ceiling in contemplation while sighing, then looks down at me a couple seconds later. Damn, I guess today's really busy, Anyways, you ready for that job I was telling you? Fuck. Are you ready for that job I was telling you about? This senile old fossil hear a single word I said. Anon is here, the skinny guy who ruined everything, ruined Worm Drummer, ruined my school, and killed Fang. Did you not hear me? Anon is sitting in your fucking restaurant after everything he's done, and all you have to say is it's a busy day.
Oh my god.
Look at Trish. Everyone's allowed in my restaurant as long as it doesn't mess with the business or anyone trying to have a meal.
Oh, I see.
Mo gives me a stern look as if I'm the one fucking wrong here. I was hoping we could talk about that security job I was telling you about, since Little Throat's been up in ass over tits lately. The Tyrannosaurus begins rambling with his typical Big Apple accent, but my mind stops paying it attention. Instead, I'm filled with utter disbelief. He doesn't give a shit at all. Wasn't Fang like a niece to him? They always talked about how cool of an uncle he was. Because of him, our band was able to get its first live audience. But now, he just wants to ignore everything that happened and let the fucking monkey who killed Fang walk out scot-free.
Damn.
I'm going to kill him, Mo. Just say the word.
What?
In the middle of my restaurant? Out in the open? Don't be stupid.
That look. That's a good look.
What fucking right does he have?
From one of the Pharaoh mods.
I'm so lonely, Trish. The other T-Rexes, they're scared of me.
Was that Spear's wife? Definitely would kill.
I wasn't given no name, only a purpose. To serve the best of pizza.
What does he have?
Ripley, come to the cut to the sheet.
Lawsuits everywhere.
Hold on.
When I was a young boy.
No.
My father took me into the city to see the marching band.
I'm over here choking my cannoli.
What fucking right does he have? You're the one who sent me after him, remember? You sent me to kill him. Why not let me finish the job? You wanted him dead. I wanted Ripley off my fucking back. Ripley, Fang's dad? Mo falls silent, but the stare pierces me within, says it all. Don't be a fool, Trish. Be the bigger person. Quit your yapping. As if I haven't heard that shit from other people constantly. Why? Why are you so against it? Anon killed Fang, remember? No, he didn't, Trish. Lucy got herself killed. My fist clenches in response, not knowing to be madder at him dead-naming Fang or the fact that he just said Fang killed himself. I met the kid, remember? I told him to be supportive of Lucy. Clearly he wasn't. Don't get me wrong, he's a stupid fucking kid. And he made a horrible, horrible mistake. But you can't deny that he must have been hurting too, just as much as you. He's hurting? Oh my god, I crush him, Goombas!
What happened?
After... Wahoo! After all the times he ignored them? After all the times... Oh, hello. A new person joined the chat. I'm sorry you had to hear that. After all the times he ignored them, after all the times he misgendered them, how he fucked us all over at the concert. How is he hurting Mo? Because he was in love with her. I know he was. The rage inside me reaches a boiling point. I can't take this anymore. So was I, asshole! I loved Feng Mo. I loved them ever since the 9th grade. I loved their smile, their talent, their eyes. I wanted to tell them how I felt about them for the longest time, but I was scared. Scared someone as beautiful as them wouldn't think of the same of me. Right when I worked up the courage to finally confess how I felt, Anon fucking shows up out of nowhere and ruins everything. The band, Fang, everything. Most said is...
What song did you use here?
Sorry. Wait, this song? I have to check.
Most says his glass.
Come from Deadly Premonition.
Let me,
Checking the files too.
sound, just there.
We used a few tracks from Katawa Shoujo. It might have been one of those.
Oh, Katawa has some banger tracks.
Yeah, we used a few of them.
It's, you know, honestly, a lot of Katawa's tracks are good, easy listing.
Oh, yeah.
I went through the Hanako good route with JM recently.
I still need to do the other routes.
I made him voice Kenji.
Nice. God. The game came out in 2012, but we didn't know how Raid Kenji would become.
On this campus, women outnumber men 60 to 40. It's not a lot, but it's definitely noticeable. They're clearly planning something against us.
The feminists are gonna destroy society.
I don't trust women.
Okay, it's the track Breathlessly from Katawa Shoujo.
That is used. I'm trying to remember where. It's probably used quite a few times. It shows up a lot during the Emmy route, I think.
Yeah.
Mo sets the glass down as he pushes himself away from the desk, looking at the ground with contemplation. That's why I'm gonna kill him, whether you like it or not. No, you're not. You know, you're not even doing the dirtiest of jobs around here. And I don't think you want the ones who do paying you a visit, do you feel me? Mo's piercing glare doesn't faze me at all. Fuck, what's another conquest line?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
Pick a god and pray. That isn't from Conquest.
Most
Wait, pick a god and pray?
That's
just
a Fire
pick a
Emblem.
god and pray.
Yeah, that's
That's Frederick.
No, I thought that was Robin.
No, it's Frederick from.
I'm talking about Invincible Conquest.
Awakening.
Yeah, well, here's something to believe in.
Trish, believe in the me that believes in you. Use your drill and pierce the heavens.
Oh.
There's no reasoning with this pussy. Fang would be ashamed they even called him an uncle. Kick his ass to Seabass.
What's going on?
You know what? Screw you, Mo. I'm done. I turn away from him, stumping towards the door, and place my hand on the handle. Before I can turn it, he calls out, Trisha, wait! Why, asshole? Didn't you want me to leave? This ain't what Lucy would have wanted. So I should just forget everything? Pretend it all never happened? Act like Fang never existed and just let some skinny piece of shit live happily ever after? You know, you don't know what a fucking thing about Fang ever would have wanted. I fling the door open and as my eardrums fill the restaurant's ambiance, drowning out whatever else Mo has to say. If he even has anything left to say. Sorry, the grappler there destroys everything.
No worries.
The macerator.
Walking down the hallway down the hall of the lively restaurant, I notice the emergency exit being left open by a brick, allowing anybody to enter or exit without triggering the alarm. Wonderful. I don't feel like going out into the main entrance and looking at those pompous fucks in the eye. Pushing the door open, I'm hit with a rather chilling breeze, as if the November wind is sweeping me into the night.
Remember.
I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta leave for now.
All right.
Awesome being part of the stream, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of
Oh,
the
this is fucking fantastic, by the way.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you guys again so much
Happy
for
Halloween.
having me.
I
and-
was gonna do this last night.
Yeah, and it means a lot to hear you're streaming it and enjoying it so much.
There's so much fun to be had.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Happy Halloween, guys. Have a good one.
Yep,
and
bye, Umbra.
Good night to everyone in chat. Bye-bye.
Later. I find myself in the alleyway behind Moe's, garbage bags scattered all around me, rats picking at the remains in the search of scraps. If this geezer could pay me to do jobs for him, why was buying a dumpster out of the question? And whatever, I don't think I'll find that ape here anytime soon, so I'll probably just go home. Assuming Reed hasn't burned our apartment down, that is.
Oh god.
Exiting the alleyway, I enter the streets, ready to check out for the night. However, a pair of familiar voices pulls me from my stupor. Have you considered about talking to her about how you feel? I can't. It would be, I mean, I just don't want to upset her. That's what I'm trying to say. She's the only friend I have left ever since. I guess he didn't leave after all. I quickly turned to distance myself away from the voices, taking cover behind the corner I just emerged from moments ago. My eyes finally spot Anon on the bench, talking with Stella? That weird Stego bitch from high school? She was always a fucking loser back then, so I can't say I'm surprised to see them together. Still, I don't remember that presentation she did about I still remember that presentation she did about anime in sophomore year and how most of the class got detention for laughing at her, to the point where she left the room in tears. I mean, if you can't handle it, why act like a weirdo in the first place? My thoughts are interrupted when Stella gets up from the bench, turning away from Anon, not before this crippled monkey of a man rises and starts saying something that causes her to turn around and wait. She's fucking hugging him? Ew, why? Not trying to give myself away, I have to mentally fight the urge to gag at what I just saw. Wait, did he just ask her out? What was previously disgust turned into anger, spreading through my body like an inferno. Was one fucking person not enough for him to ruin? Still, it's not like there's really much left to ruin in someone like Stella. But the two seem to be close. I'm assuming they're close with Rosa too, since she was with both of them when they stopped me. Fucking bitch. I'll have to watch her and Rosa. Since Mo's useless to me now, these two should lead me to him. I'm coming for you, you fucking skinny.
Hey, wait, my piece of artwork, I remember.
We probably could have just said, hey, you can use this if you want.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to it, because just credit me and that's it.
God damn. I can't remember the last time I ate that well. Real food for a change, too. Not what passes for food in the freezer section at the dollar store. At this point, I'm feeling tempted to give Rosa a gift basket. Although I think I see what Stella was talking about when she said I returned to the table. Rosa was not thrilled about us disappearing. Don't ask, Bon. You left the table in a trance without a word, not to mention how long you were gone. Something could have happened to you again. To be honest, I'm not exactly proud of what happened, but I can't imagine it would put anyone's mind at ease to see their crippled friend waddle to the bathroom while mumbling to himself like a schizo. I guess I can kind of see where Rosa was coming from. And none, you okay? The sound of Rose's call snapped me back to my senses. I found myself standing at the elevator with Rose and Stella waiting for me outside the door. Yeah, sorry. I quickly move my way out of the contraption before the door closes on me. Rosa chuckles, placing a hand on my shoulder. It was great to see you again, Anon. I'm hoping we can find some time to meet up again sometime soon. Yeah, I'd sure be down for that again. Hey, Rosa, would it be okay if I had a moment alone with Anon? Hearing Stella's request, the Ankylosaur turns to her with a surprised expression painted across her face. There was a hint of hesitation, however the smile returns to her face as she glances my way. Por supuesto, Stella. I'll just be waiting in the lobby for you if that's okay. Buenos noches, Anon. It was great to see you again. The two of us wait as the footsteps grow quieter until it's followed by the sound of a door opening and closing. So what's the plan? Stella places a hand under her chin, her lower beak, in contemplation, the gears turning in her head. I was thinking we could maybe meet there around 1. Does that time work for you? No, 1 in the afternoon or in the morning. Stella responds to what I assumed was an inner thought with a deadpan look and a stifled back giggle, while stifling back a giggle. I'm kidding. 1 sounds great. By the way, what's this boba place called again? Oh, it's called Bubbly. Was she telling me that's the name Spot or a dad joke? Although, judging from her sincerity, I guess it's the former. Awesome. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I've never had boba before. What? You've never tried it? Well, tomorrow we're changing that. But anyway, I've probably kept Rosa waiting long enough. I'm gonna go meet her downstairs, but I'll see you tomorrow, Anon. Walking towards the elevator and pressing down the down-facing button, the door opens before the cheerful Stego almost immediately jumps in. After entering the elevator, Stella turns around to face me and flashes a peace sign. Bye, Anon. Stella says her goodbyes as the blush on her face grows into a mixture of pink and green. I reply to her with a wave and smile as the door closes and separates us both, leaving me alone in the halls of my derelict apartment. Walking back to my room in deafening silence, I begin to fixate on what I just got myself into. I'm meeting with Stella tomorrow. A girl I'm friends with, for some boba, alone. My mind focuses on nothing else except what I just agreed to. A big part of me was nervous since the last time I've hung out one-on-one with someone was. When I was with Fang. Standing outside of my door, the gut-wrenching memory hits me like a train, reminiscing of the time we spent together, both inside and out of school. How we found a piece of ourselves in each other. And all the times we could have just spent together, had I been a better person. Fuck, not now. I insert my keys into the doorknob, trying to fixate on the inner workings of the contraption in an attempt to distract myself from my own thoughts. My hand moves the bronze-colored device as it merges with the inner workings of the door. You took me away from my friends. You ruined our band. No. I turn the key as it responds with rhythmic clicking, allowing me to open the door and greet me to the side of my shitty room. That would be too much of an honor for you. Shut up. Entering my apartment, I immediately close and lock the door while kicking off my shoes, and I hobble towards my bed almost instinctively, directed by my growing exhaustion and how I ate enough pizza to put me in a diabetic coma. With better judgment, I would avoid going to sleep again to try and find ways to keep myself occupied, but this was not one of those times. Sitting down by crutches while trying to balance on one foot, I flop onto the bed and begin to rest my eyes. It's funny to think that Rose's couch is comfier than my bed, but I guess it beats having no bed at all. Within minutes, I found myself drifting, along with the blur of emotions plaguing my mind. Just the general fear I have about my financial situation, worrying how much longer I can stay in this place by relying on the government handouts. And, of course, the guilt that still haunts me every waking moment with how I handled things with Fang. And yet, buried under all that bullshit, there's a part of me that's excited to see Stella tomorrow. There's a lot I don't know about other than what kind of anime she likes, and of course, the whole tarot thing with her. And judging from her blushing by the elevator, I guess she's excited too. But there's just one thing I still don't know. Is she asking me to hang out, or is this a date? Does she? Do I? What the fuck? I shot up from my bed, thrilled by the sudden bang noise that woke me. Scanning my room, everything seems to be in place. Nothing missing or broken, just a messy apartment. Did I really mean nothing to you at all, Anon? That voice. No. I turn to investigate the intruder, and my suspicions are confirmed when I see none other than Fang sitting in my desk chair, leering at me with scorn, her eyes full of disgust. Fang, Shut the fuck up, dweeb. I've heard enough of your bullshit when I was alive. Fang brushes me off with her hand as she growls as the scowl grows on her face. Not to mention how much you'd let me suffer, or how you couldn't even save me. I rise from my bed, positioning myself closer to the specter of my former girlfriend. No, Fang, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I fucked everything up, and I am so sorry. Fang's eyes glow with anger in response to my apology. Don't give me that bullshit. I know for a fact you're not actually sorry. You were worried about your precious Xbox controller. More worried about your precious Xbox controller than you were about me after I had the worst dad of my life, remember? But it was the Duke. She's right. I was selfish, apathetic, and worst of all, a coward. And I still am those things. No shit, Anon. A new voice emerged from my right. I turned to see Naomi standing in the kitchen hallway, staring at me with an aura of hate that rivals Fang's. The fact that you're moving on so quickly after meeting with Rose and Stella just proves that how little you gave a fuck about Fang. You really think making new friends will absolve you of your sins? Fang responds with a chuckle as her scowl turns to a rather sadistic-looking sneer. For once, I agree with this cunt. Since you're going on a date with one of them tomorrow, tell me, Anon. Are you going to treat Stella as horribly as you treated me? No, Fuck, this is all too much. This isn't a date. Where's the second ping coming from? Somebody's mentioning me. I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, it's just it's an ad, everyone. This, don't you fucking yell at me. This isn't a date.
I will.
Is it? Wow, I always knew you were a fucking loser. That didn't think it was this bad. A new voice enters the room, this one sounding more masculine. I look backwards towards the hallway and see Nazar moving past Naomi with a smug look. The skinny lives in his own filth like a pig. Why am I not surprised? He lives in his own garbage. He treats people like garbage. And what do you know? He's garbage himself. Shut up. They would never say this. Would they? Were you planning on taking Stella away from her family and friends as well, so you could ruin her life too? Why couldn't you just stay at rock bottom? No matter how much you pretend otherwise, you'll always be a piece of shit. I should have just left you to rot all alone. I made the mistake of aiming for your leg. I should have aimed for your face. The voices begin to rapidly overlap each other, making it increasingly difficult to tell which words are coming from the mouth of which of my tormentors. As they continue to taunt me, berate me, and shame me, it's gotten to the point where the jeers have become incomprehensible, sounding more like a white noise rather than actual words, all before completely devolving into laughter. Despite any lack of coherent speech, their presence still stabs my heart all the same. Their taunting overwhelms my mind like a storm, breaking any steady thought and emotions. Until I notice as his chest begins to ooze with dark crimson, progressively staining his jacket. Oh no, fuck, no, not again. Naomi's head begins to pour with blood, adding new streaks of red to her naturally peach-colored hair. I can feel my heart drop and my face turning white as I see my former friends turn to corpses before my eyes as their laughter grows alarmingly deranged. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I turn back to my desk chair and I see Fang. Oh my god. The feathers begin to drop from her wings like flies, to the point where her wings are completely bare, her otherwise monochrome appearance now paired with a new shade of pink. Out of all of their voices, Fang's laughter unsettles me the most. A flurry of emotions evident from her facial expression. Sadism, grief, hate. The sight of it terrorizes me and breaks my heart at the same time. However, what I saw next only struck more fear into my heart. As my former girlfriend's laughter became more frenzied, her appearance became more deranged. Bruises will now begin to grow on her body. Almost instantly, her scales becoming more discolored until I notice her amber eyes. Her amber eyes begin to leak tears of blood. The grotesque side of it causes me to hyperventilate frantically as I watch my friends around me turn to corpses puppeteered by my own hysteria. Every urge of my body tells me to hide, but I don't deserve to. I did this to them. They have every right to punish me. No. I'm snapped out of my shell shock as I notice Fang raised her claw as she roars with anger. That would be too much of an honor for you! Fang screeches at me with an immense fury before striking me across the face. Instinctually, I close my eyes, but nothing happens. I open my eyes to see that the bodies of my former friends are nowhere to be found. Scanning across the apartment frantically, as I rise from the bed. I begin to shudder with horror as I recall what I witnessed just moments ago. My horror bubbles into anger, but not at my situation or revenants that haunt my dreams. I'm angry at myself. I fucked everything up. I begin to fall back into my bed as I pant with uncontrollable fury. Fuck. I cry, angrily, slamming my fist against the mattress. Am I doomed to be nothing more than this? Pathetic, uncaring, horrible person? And what if they're right? What if I hurt Stella and Rose the same way I hurt them? I can't let that happen again. Hey, look, it's it.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Peak game play.
Hey, look, Bobzar helped with this. I've never come across Mina, but very talented. As in, I haven't had a conversation with Mina. I've seen stuff on the Boru. I know, it's very cool that I know most of these people. Hold on, that says Moe Sprite Edits. I fucked up the credits, but that said Moe Sprite Edit. There's no way he didn't know. We'll let it re fucking scroll, but there's a line that just says Moe Sprite Edits. There's no fucking way he didn't know. There's no way. Bro, This is a track. The background track here is also, I'm trying to place it. It's either Katawa or... Oh, look, there's the actual things.
Apple.
No wonder it was familiar. I wonder if I could give him $5 to be added to the credits of the next part as financial contributor. Financial contributions, Father Oates.
All I can say is one of the best mods released recently.
It is very good. It's very well made. And like you see a lot of the people in the credits, they're those are the people who are, winning all the jams and whatnot, and who basically made the modding community in the first place, those couple of years ago.
Yeah, made the modding community
Like
assets from Team Patero.
yeah, Bob Czar
Cheeto,
specifically.
Yeah, you got Bob, one of the OG modders, and now the head of the Buru, and you got Cheeto, one of the main artists on Devlog. Pretty stacked team.
It is a very stacked
And
team.
Mina Boulaire, it's the first time I've seen them, but they are a damn good artist.
I don't know if Mina's specifically part of the Snoot community or just somebody that Umbra knows from his, wider career.
Most likely, because I have not seen it before, so I'm assuming probably Final Fantasy 14 artist, but either way,
Very
they're a
likely.
good artist.
What a coincidence for the name.
Because if you remember the story of Bad Apple, I'm gonna make inflammatory statements on the internet and then turn my notifications off.
Yeah. Anyway, in a couple of hours here, we're gonna be back up for Happy Trails D&D, or that group is. I hope everybody enjoyed the mod reading. I know it's been a while, and I still owe you all some Steins Gate. But for now, I bid you adieu, my cosmorphic cattle wranglers.
I hope you all enjoyed this reading.